lies.
It lies.
It lies.
It lies.
It lies. Camera has one eye.
How is everyone this evening?
Hello. We can stop talking equipment here and start talking about what's going on. Oh, we have a theme for you tonight. It is cocktails to relax by.
Yes.
Was that the thing? And as I said earlier, yeah, as opposed to those cocktails that are just work. You know, you don't want to be a stress cocktail.
I know for certain that Mercury is not in retrograde, but nothing is working. So just bear with us, please. There we are on YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
One person watching. Hello.
No. Hello, person. We're so glad you could join us together.
Let's see. Hi, Mom.
Hello.
And hi, Satellite. Hello, Jen Lynn. Doug, hi. And Lena, hello. And Gettysburg, ma'am, hello. We are so blue tonight. And I did change the lighting a little bit, but dang, we look blue on this video. Hi, Peter. Good to see you.
See what I can randomly do about that. You know, we've had some recently which looked awfully red, and I really start to question things about this. Maybe we need yet another firmware update on this camera. Every 5 minutes, I seem to ask for one.
You know, for the hell.
Interesting but true.
Oh, well, we could get earphones. I said for the hell of it, we could change the light color and see what happens.
On these bulbs and things. Well, this is true. What's happening with the bulb?
Hi, Wesley. Good to see you.
This keeps changing itself all over the place.
I know.
That may be
crazy.
That may be tricking out the autofocus.
Yay.
Auto exposure, actually, is what I'm thinking of. Yeah, because you have this color bulbs.
Oh. I know.
Right, just for that whole thing. Where's my phone?
But in the meantime, I need to relax.
You need to relax.
Without further ado.
I tell you, she works so hard. And systems don't work for her. And then they laugh. They laugh. And you go,
hi, Eric. And hi, Alan and Elizabeth. Good to see you. Glad you're checking in.
Yeah.
So.
But definitely.
I was just expressing my desire for an alcoholic beverage.
An alcoholic beverage. I'm not going to say it's a new world record because sometimes we have one before we even start.
I haven't had a drop
3 minutes
today,
in,
which might be my problem.
Maybe that's it.
Yes, cocktails to relax by. Exactly.
As I was saying...
it does sound like what the doctor ordered,
just
right?
a moment ago, as opposed to cocktails that make you tense. You know?
Good to see you.
I drink to get tense. It's like, you probably have cocktails to relax by. But hey, so that's a funny title. I'm going to try something here.
I posted that record, Music to Relax By, after a hard day. And it hasn't been a hard day per se, but it's just been a depressing and frustrating day.
Just so many things.
Anyway.
So many things that almost work. You know.
Hi, John. It's more like, oh, hi, Ryan and Errol. Hello, good to see you. Oh, no, Lisa's in Facebook jail. Oh. And you guys, if you're looking for Lisa on Facebook, Lisa and Errol, she's in Facebook jail. But you can find her on YouTube.
You can find her on YouTube. You see, this is why...
You can find her on YouTube.
Among other reasons why we broadcast to two platforms. In case one of them gets you in trouble,
I know.
Then go to the other one because you won't be in trouble there. It's not like just cross-platform jail.
Everyone's gonna bail on Facebook and go over to YouTube because Lisa and Errol are there.
I mean, well, there you go. And what a fine place to be there for, huh? There's the thing, they can't both put you in jail simultaneously. You would have to offend both, like in separate platforms. It's not like they collaborate. They're competing with each other. So, it's Instagram's going to do something else. Bingo. That's the kicker.
And if anyone here is an entertainment lawyer, let me know.
Yeah. Or knows a good entertainment lawyer.
Yeah, at least. Oh, Facebook jail, Eric says. A non-believer in a cult environment. I don't know what lands people in Facebook jail. I really don't, because I've had a number of friends land in Facebook jail, and...
Well, we knew one who landed there because of his tendency to post sort of cheesecake pictures. And what landed him there basically was boobs. And I think, or just even the suggestion there of a little cleavage will get you pretty far. And I think, okay, that's ridiculous. The sort of things that you hear on these platforms, the inflammatory stuff people whip out and trying to stir up belief, I think, oh, for Pete's sake. What's wrong with that? Your little boobs now.
Oh, Gettysburg Ma'am says she transferred over to Facebook from YouTube because the Facebook feed is more real time and YouTube is about 40 seconds delayed. no idea why that would be.
Yeah, we're not broadcasting natively to either. We're going through a third party, and obviously Facebook picks it up faster.
But Sherry says, I got a Facebook warning for spamming because I tagged too many people in a post. Interesting.
That could be true. And you're talking about posting from, posting from work account and all this kind of thing. I'm suddenly running into this issue when I send a mass email every year to alert people of our Christmas collection, and then I can send this to maybe 25 people at a time before the thing just crashes on me. And I think, okay, well, I just bust it down into 3 or 4 parts, and away we go. But generally speaking, I'm going to send it to as many people as, So that's just a drag.
Peter went to Facebook jail at one point, he says.
A few weeks there myself. What has happened, I tell you.
All right, so I started with 2 ounces of bourbon.
2 big ounces of bourbon.
I'm going to do a ½ ounce of vanilla de Madagascar. Make sure that I am actually using the correct bottle.
Otherwise, suddenly this tastes like lychee.
No, there's nothing bad. I don't need a lawyer because I'm in trouble. No. I need a lawyer because I have to form an LLC.
That kind of thing. And, obviously you could talk to a corporation lawyer, right? Somebody who actually spends time forming.
And when I looked at what goes into forming an LLC, I was like, I need a lawyer.
I need a lawyer. But, specifically, we are talking for entertainment purposes. Not that we're trying to entertain ourselves. We're trying to produce content, more content.
Facebook. Paul Gettysburg, man. Oh, boy.
So it is recommended that we find an entertainment lawyer, therefore, because we'll understand all of the subtleties.
Yeah, nothing bad. I didn't mean to alarm anyone.
By the way, I need a good lawyer. Oh yeah.
Apparently, I have to form an LLC.
I'll have to walk around with a rubber knife sticking out of my back. She needs a good lawyer because no, jeez, people. Oh.
Groups are your friend.
What are you thinking?
That's good advice, Doug.
That is a good advice.
Yeah, go for the groups. Thank you for asking.
Hello.
Eric said, I thought Gettysburg Man was not here because I scared her away. I think she likes the real time.
Yeah, that's the thing. Some people just prefer it this way or that way. And, we remain agnostic as a platform. We will do both. We comment on both. We're checking on both. So if you are on both because, hey, well, great. That's the view on each. And, hey, supposing one of these conks out, the other one will be good for you. Once again, if you're watching on a smart, air quotes, TV, you can't comment at all. So if you prefer that big screen, stick with it. Get on your phone or your tablet or something on one of these platforms and you can comment. So you'll be 2 places at once, which might mean you're nowhere at all. But no, you'd be 3 places in that case. So go to town, definitely. That's how to do it. You can't do it through your TV.
Nothing works.
Unless...
Nothing works.
Oh, suddenly we're getting is it Siri is actually doing all of the why? Oh, there you go. Upper left-hand corner.
No, that's not what I was even talking about. No. But Siri was transcribing everything we were saying.
Everything we were saying. Isn't it great to be reading what you're saying while you say it? I tell you. It's, once again, nothing happening with Mercury or other communication devices. I'm just thinking that bleep is not working. That's what I'm thinking. That's it. There you go. Big fun time. So anyway, other ingredients that may be needed.
I wrote down my ingredients.
There we go. Like it's a soda.
½ ounce vanilla de Madagascar.
From Giffard. An excellent vanilla liquor.
½ ounce ginger liqueur. 3/4 of an ounce fresh lemon juice. And I'm going to do 8 dashes of cocoa bitters. This
is not helping because I just typed 0.72 ounce of fresh lemon, and people are going to say, what?
Wait, what do you... I already wrote that.
Yeah, it was said 0.72.
Oh.
And you're thinking, there's no way that you're telling people to get 0.72.
Well, I do proofread these things before I send them
out. Hey, helping you out there because...
All right, thank you. All right, let's get back to our comments. Hi, Lynn. Good to see you. Oh, Jen Lynn, let's see. I haven't named it yet.
Yeah, we're thinking about it.
Oh, wait, no. I'm reading Sherry's comment. I got a warning for posting a silly meme of Jeffrey Dahmer's face. Oh, jeez. Hi, Amy. Good to see you.
As much as that is in intensely poor taste, it's also hilarious. So that's why you posted it. And some people just can't take a joke.
Eric says, I was looking for my socks once, couldn't find them, so I asked Siri.
Siri said, look on your feet. What? Oh, yeah, there they were.
Errol says, LOL on the 40-second delay. It would have served me well many times. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You need the 40-second look ahead.
She said they're behind the couch. Really?
Were they? Well, that's the question of the hour.
Shake with ice.
Get you some ice.
Strain into a cocktail glass.
Would you like a chilled cocktail glass?
I would.
Would you like a chilled cocktail glass that might make your drink taste 40% better? No, 73%.
73.
Yeah, 73. That's the magic number right there. And boom. Well, let's get that for it.
73 is the magic number.
So 73 is the magic number. Weren't we actually just name-checking Schoolhouse Grammar, etc.?
Yes.
Multiplication rock, in fact. The 3 is the magic number.
Oh, if you missed something on Facebook, you have approximately 40 seconds to catch it on YouTube. Well, that's the spirit.
Switch back and let go.
Shells Bells. Hello, and thank you.
Hell, Shells. There we go. Absolutely. Yeah, this one.
Thank you so much.
This one had a birthday on Monday. Boy,
yep.
It was pretty good.
It was great.
We didn't televise that one because, well, it was a
he says, I thought 3 was the magic number.
Yes.
73.
73 is a magic number. That's the thing.
All right.
73 cocktails for the bartender.
Into my cocktail glass.
Yeah. You know. So you get a sucker.
I'm gonna give myself a little extra. I could have fit it in, but
oh shucks.
It's probably not a good idea.
A little full, a lot of sap.
And among other things I have to whine about tonight, it is really cold in here.
Bit chilly. It's been cold outside. It never really got toasty inside. Although outside it improved, which was great for the ice on the driveway because it went away. That's what I'm saying.
I forgot the lemon juice.
You forgot the lemon juice. Oh!
I was like, why?
Why is this so?
Is this so...
Let's try this out.
Not tart. Lemon juice.
That's why. And you know, there's some classic drinks out there that don't have lemon, and I think to myself, I probably should have some lemon. And I add the lemon, I'm like, it's a better drink. So I guess it's not the classic anymore, but it suddenly is sour. Not everything needs to be a sour. You
doing great tonight.
Don't need to put lemon in a Manhattan outside of a lemon twist.
Doing great tonight, folks.
Yeah. There. She's making it happen.
Where?
Where? Yeah, she's still asking that question.
There. Where?
I tell you.
Where?
A filter. Oh, that's hilarious.
I do at least have a filter.
Oh, that's just charming. What a great thing, particularly to say to a lady. You know what's big about your ass? Your ass. You know. Oh, wonderful.
Everyone loves it when you say that.
You know, that's got to get you.
Male and.
That's got to get you invited back to parties. I got to say, whoa, dude.
That's a lot better.
Let's try it again. Yeah, I wanted to try it first to say like, okay, I can imagine.
It was actually
exactly how
okay.
This does not taste.
Without the lemon juice, but I said lemon juice, and then damned if I didn't leave it out.
Damned if that's the magic ingredient. That just. We say this all the time on the show. I'll look at some formula for a drink, and it's like, where's the sour? This is a hot mess. So you make it, and you try it, and you're like, it's terrible. And then you throw in some lemon, it's like, it's improved. So there you go. Sometimes it's just the sour.
Oh!
That makes it all happen.
Hold on. I just lost the comment. Hold on. Who said that? Hi, Devin. Good to see you.
Oh, where is Bumwolf playing in Rhode Island? Interested to know. We saw a...
Oh, it's Gettysburg now. So there's a warm-up on the way. I am ready because
I will.
Freezing.
Yeah, I will take that on the way. We were supposed to have a couple of days this week that were into low 50s, and I thought, well, that'll take care of a lot of pointless ice where I am stepping outside my house.
Eric, it wanted me to moderate your comment about big butts. I allowed it. But it's like, this comment has been held for review. Like,
Okay, so if our soundtrack was playing, I like big butts and I cannot lie, you'd be like, all right, that's it. Off the air. Bye.
Well, they would give you a copyright strike for sure.
Yeah, that would give you a strike. They would just say, we're going to claim the money on this.
I agree, Shells Bells. It does make the drink better. Oh, he's playing New Jersey, Albany, and Pauling, New York. Oh, is that, what's his face's place?
Daryl's. Is that Daryl's place?
Is that Daryl's place?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, Hall.
That sounds
Hall.
Yeah, him. Yeah, that's a notable venue. People love to play Daryl's place. place. People have to see
Is that
these
where-
guys. We've never seen anything at Daryl's.
I know. Well, it is a little bit of a drive.
It's a bit of a drive. Pauling's not around our corner. Although like 684 perhaps.
Lisa says I changed Daryl's filter when we got married.
Well, you know, it's good to remember what is what. It's good to have a filter, period. I hear about people who have had, you know, the thing, and then it's executive filter gone. And it's like, all right.
Executive function.
Yeah, that's just like out of there. You know, so now you're just saying what you're saying, or are you just being a jerk? You know, hard to say.
That was 70 in Tulsa today.
Maybe.
My day started with, I got on the train to go into New York City for an appointment. The appointment got canceled after I had already presented my ticket on the train, so I had to eat that money.
So that was gone, and here you were two or three stops in saying, what am I supposed to do?
So I got off the train.
So you got off the train.
And there was going to be no return train for like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
So I Ubered back to our town.
Because the actual first train from the terminus wasn't leaving until around that point. So it was going to take
I Ubered
90 minutes to get there.
Took an incredibly expensive Uber to get back to my car.
It sounds like
but my point is it was freezing at that train station.
I bet it was.
I waited for the Uber driver, who was extremely sweet, but that man did not stop talking from the time he picked me up to the time he dropped me off. I know everything about his life.
I fear he's still talking.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Yes, he is. To a different passenger. And away we go.
Well, apparently he's the number 18 Uber driver in the state, but he's the number one Uber driver in our area. So
he's number one.
He got me there in one piece. So it was
in untimely fashion. Well, boy, I tell you, now I'm dry. Which is what I need to do.
Oh, see, they didn't moderate that one, Eric. I didn't have to moderate that one.
Take care of it yourself. You know what? You know what I'm
marking? Oh, it's playing at the Greenwich Odeum.
Greenwich Odeum. Oh, okay. Greenwich Odeum. In Rhode Island.
Is that an East G?
Is that an East
Hi, neighbor.
Is that an East Greenwich? And that used to be a movie.
26 and snowing in Colorado.
Oh.
Sounds like here, except without the snow.
Is that an East Greenwich, Rhode Island? And did that used to be a movie theater? This is starting to sound familiar. Anyway, so I need to make something. You know what I need to make?
I would if I were you.
I need to make a cocktail of extraordinary magnitude. That's what I think. So, shall we?
I think you should.
Yeah. First, you start with the ice. Ice your shaker.
That comment of mine got flagged. This world is going to end. Well, it will someday.
You know what I was going to do? Actually, what I was going to do was something very simple.
What are you going to do?
What you going to do? Boy. Let's see here. I need a single
East Greenwich.
East Greenwich?
East G.
I bet that's the Greenwich Theater. Saw a ton of stuff there as a kid. It was a single screen movie house. And this place was so old school, they had men's and ladies' night that was like $1.
Wait, is that the place where we saw American Beauty and the film caught on fire?
No.
Oh, okay.
Different place. That was in Warwick or West Warwick.
Is that the Kent?
One of the Warwicks. No. Kent and Greenwich were both in East Greenwich. Both had been vaudeville houses, I think. But one of them was a 3-screen, and the Greenwich was a single screen.
Hi, chappies. Thank you.
Pretty big screen. Could use a better sound system. But they still actually popped their own popcorn. And they had one of those machines for a soda where you press the button and a wax cup would drop down and mix up your cola, you know? It was just, wow.
Which one was that?
That was the Greenwich. They had a cigarette machine from the year 2. It was really kind of cool to see all that kind of stuff. Anyway, so we're going to start with the single old-fashioned. This is just going to be a building glass. I was about to mix, and then I said, no, I wanted to do something else. We'll let that one ride. Ice. Decided to do something really basic, really simple. A lot of people like this one, and I do too. And I hadn't used scotch in a while, and we actually have a good quantity on it. That's a pretty good place to be. So I take a shot of the scotch, 1.5. If you are the type who thinks that a shot should be more like 2 ounces, well, that's not going to hurt.
Do you?
Do you? Drambuie. Give me 1/2 ounce on that. Yeah, this is going to be about 1/2 ounce right there. Yeah, that sounds good. You're really supposed to float that on top, but I think a little more mingling is indicated. And express lemon peel. I don't think that the formula in this book over here says so, but I think a twist, and definitely done like that, will give it a little essence. Oh, and just smell. See? Immediately,
smells good.
Bang, there you go. So that's just the scotch and the liqueur and the twist, and you have the famous rusty nail. Well, this is the sort of thing you can order in any bar in the country, and they probably won't screw it up. So that's a good thing.
Famous last words.
Whereas if you go into an average bar, you say, I'd like a Mai Tai, I don't know what you're going to get. In fact, I can probably bet you're not going to get what you think you're going to get, and certainly not the way you like it if you know how it's made. But anyway, cheers, folks.
Politically correctized cuss phrase.
That's very nice and simple. The liqueur in there, I think it's a honey-based liqueur, which is honey-based Scotch liqueur.
I'm afraid to try honey on live video.
Okay, well, you don't have to. That's okay. Yep, that's fine.
I might be allergic.
It's a little sweetness, and it does give a little, the lemon essence is really helping that out. And you know what I think I'm going to do?
That hurt like the enforced fornication of a material. Oh, jeez.
I think I'm going to add a little bit of juice to this as well. This does not classically call for the juice, but let me give it like maybe a quarter ounce, maybe less.
All right. Really
just a dash. And just a bit of a stir with this fine stir stick over here. Tink, 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 tink. I just felt like this could be a little more sour than it was, because it kind of wasn't sour at all.
I added it as an optional.
Optional. I like that a little better. It's not a real hardcore sour because it's not like a whole half ounce to balance out the half ounce of the liquor. But it's a nice it's a flavor note. There we go.
So in my experience, a lot of bartenders only know how to make trendy cocktails, classics. Forget about it. That's what I'm like. Don't tempt fate, you know.
Well, you know, and trendy can mean a lot of things these days. I suspect that a lot of bars will still be able to whip you up a kamikaze, which is a shot. And it's really like people will do one kamikaze, two kamikaze, three kamikaze, and then you've just got a crashed zero on your destroyer. So you know that's not good. Really not good. No.
No.
Also, it's not Japanese.
You can do better.
But yeah, you can do better. You can have an actual mixed drink out of there. And, you know, at any place like that, they couldn't mix up like a dead-on dry Manhattan dry martini and has like correct cherries and the twist and everything, like fresh peels and things to float on there. I think, yeah, that's a place that
you did
really
not get flagged, Eric.
Hey,
you're good. You're good.
It's good. It's good. So anyway. I think I made this on the air once before, maybe.
Pardon me
twice.
for one moment.
Please, to take care of. Occasionally, I just
so cold.
Feel like one of these types of classics. And this is a simple thing. You assemble it in a glass bowl. It's like Scotch and ginger. Scotch and ginger is my go-to when we're at a show. Because, of course, the show has all these liquor bottles and no vermouth. Can't have a Manhattan. Can't have a martini. What can you have? You can have a bunch of highballs. Because they've got a bunch of sodas back there. And they have the gun. So, hey, Scotch and soda, Scotch and ginger, bourbon and soda, bourbon and ginger. You could have gin and, I don't know what the hell you would have. You would have gin and soda. What? That nobody ever orders that, like, ever. However, they might have tonic, so you should be able to get a gin tin. Okay, fine. Bunch of highballs. There you go. And just checking it. Eric, you're about to go to jail again. Sorry, but that's just probably going to get you there. Well, maybe not. Maybe that's too technical a term. Anyway, I'm not saying that anybody should censor itself outside of, you know, language will be troublesome. So, but concept should not be. Much better.
I was so cold.
Please, a bit chilly here. And you don't have a lot of sleeve power in that dress, you know.
No. Better.
Better.
East
Greenwich, boom. Yes, absolutely. So I'm thinking that's where I think it is. And they reverted to being a theater. They did have a pretty nice stage in there. It was pretty wide. I recall it being a large screen. And I remember seeing some classics there, like in circa 1984, the Hitchcock estate, like there had been some issues with years with 2 or 3 of the Hitchcock pictures. And they had just been like out of circulation. It was really difficult to see them. And that was like Vertigo and Rear Window. And suddenly, the legal issues were solved. It was probably authorship. And then they were back in circulation and got re-released. So I saw Rear Window there. And it was really cool to see that in that type of theater that was definitely around for the original showings of that movie. And it's nice and wide, you know. That's really the point of it is a big picture window of a picture.
Errol's had gin and Dr. Pepper. I have not tried that combo.
Seems to bring out good flavors. We did try. What did we try with Dr. Pepper? Hot Dr. Pepper.
Oh yeah.
With what?
Did we?
Was there a liquor in there?
I don't think so.
With lemon, maybe something like that.
Language is a virus from outer space. William S. Burroughs. I love it.
Well, the way he wrote, he was right. I'm trying to think of. Was there anything? I think the hot Dr. Pepper with lemon, and we tried it, and it was just terrible. It was absolutely awful.
Because it was Diet Dr. Pepper.
Because it's Diet Dr. Pepper. It's like that does not work. So find yourself the kind with sugar. We were just hearing recently about that place in Texas that was bottling the Dr. P with sugar, and they got slammed by Dr. P corporate. So now they're not doing it anymore. Screw them.
No.
I tell you, got to get your sugary Dr. P from somewhere else.
Hi, Fabs. Good to see you.
Long conversation about how, like, sometimes corporate shoots itself in the foot, and that's a pretty good example of that. So.
Oh my gosh, so much better.
There you go.
I don't know why I'm so cold.
Suddenly got a chill.
I mean, it's not like we don't have heat, but.
Well, and it's also not like these lights over here are giving off much heat. I mean, we used to have these halogens, and boy, they would warm up a room. In the winter, good idea. In the summer, oh boy. So that's why we got the LEDs. They run much, much cooler, use much less energy, plenty of lumens, etc. This ring light actually gives off a lot, and we did adjust it tonight. We're trying to get the balance right, and, well, the whole lighting still ends up looking a little blue, and
well, it's better than it was last time.
Yeah.
Because last time we just looked beet red. So.
Yes, take your pick. Red or blue, red or blue. You know what I can say. Video roulette. Cocktail roulette. Oh, that's a fun game. We need to play that soon.
Dr. Pepper and Fireball, Fabs is saying.
And Fireball. Okay.
In a weird way, I could kind of see that.
One could also do that with your own whiskey and some cinnamon syrup, or there is a cinnamon infusion. Don't we have one of those cocktail infusions that is like a cinnamon? Mm-hmm. I forget who made it. It's in a very narrow rectangular bottle. Yeah, that's a cinnamon extract. And that's a pretty heavy hit of cinnamon, so yes. I would try that. That would be interesting. Yeah. You know, it really depends on what's the sweetener in the diet drinks. You know, I've seen a couple of references recently inside the private group to that strange petrochemical formula from the 1960s from the Coca-Cola Corporation, Tab.
Oh, God.
That's essentially their first attempt at a diet soda. Well, they were trying to compete with Diet Right soda. And I'm sure at the time both were actually sweetened with saccharides, since banned. So what did they do after that? What else? Saccharin. And that was really the foundation of the Tab flavor, I think, was a heavy hit of saccharin. It's got this one-note sweet, and it's way too sweet. And, you know, the pink stuff, some people swear by it. It does its job. There are no calories, blah, blah, blah.
Sounds like Pepto or something.
Sounds like you're getting packets of some other type of powder. But, you know, that's the thing. And some people, like, drank it so religiously for years that they're still like, oh, I miss Tab, you know. I think we found out recently that it is now off the market. Now, I could be wrong.
Yeah, but they kept making it, though.
I could be wrong. They kept making it until pretty recently. And we knew, like, at least one correspondent who was like, oh, yeah, I found some Tab. Oh, wow. Yeah, good for you. But I think it is, like, gone now. So now what you have left are, there's Diet Coke, the formula from early 80s, I think. Diet
Tab, yeah. Lisa Tab.
Yeah, OMG. Because the first big attempt for Coke to try to, like, take back some market share with diet drinks was the Diet Coke. And, you know,
oh boy,
it does its job. We know plenty of people who mainline the stuff. But I always thought that they missed the flavor. They missed the actual base flavor of the flagship product with the sugar or the bogus sugar.
Sherry says rum and root beer was a fad at my parents' bar. Wow, okay. That sounds interesting. They had root beer because the kids stopped in for candy and sodas after a day at the pool. I love that. I love that. Of course.
Go down to the bar for what? For an ice cream soda. Now you're talking.
Okay. Back in the 90s, we worked at a place that basically allowed me to order whatever I wanted for happy hours. And I don't know, for some reason, one time we decided to order Tab. We ordered a lot of booze too,
Yep.
but so I tried a tab and I was like, oh my God.
Oh, what happened?
How did I ever drink this?
What happened?
Awful.
Yep.
But once you've gotten away from it, had like other diet sodas for years and years, it was horrifying.
Well, I think the first big innovation was like a different flavor base, which went into the Diet Coke, and then Coca-Cola starts using. I'm name checking them a lot just because I'm talking about their products. I get it. It's not like I'm getting sponsored here, but
well, they probably don't like what you're saying. So.
They probably don't, because they would actually slag off some of the things they're doing. Then they go and adding different sweeteners in an attempt to make this more palatable, and they start working with the aspartame. And it's like, well, that's just a different one-note sweetener. And then there's like combinations of two of them to try to make that happen. Eventually, some brain trust says, just make this stuff taste more like the flagship product, and that's a product called Coke Zero. And, you know, we keep that on hand. I think that kind of tastes like you ordered a Coke. There's some particular flavor in there. I don't know whether it's a citrus flavor or what. That's part of the Coke formula. Obviously, trade secrets. So I don't know what's in it. You don't know what's in it, but you can make some pretty good guesses.
Oh, Fresca. We've actually had Fresca recently. Apparently, it's enjoying a resurgence.
It's kicking around,
yeah,
and the product itself calls itself a flavored seltzer. I think they're really trying to tap that market. Essentially, it is the way that almost any soda is a flavored seltzer. But we've had it, and you know what? I think it's just pretty good. It's actually got a pretty nice flavor profile.
Eric says, Lisa, my girlfriend, told me her dad's ideal breakfast was leftover pizza and tab.
Oh man.
Wow.
Leftover pizza, I can say. You know,
Well, it wouldn't be my first choice, but I've had it for many a breakfast. So.
I've definitely had, you know, what's that line from the Stone song?
Fresca and tequila. See, there you go.
Amy. Oh, there you go.
That sounds
Fresca
good.
tequila is basically, what's that called? A palomino, which like the tequila and the grapefruit soda. Well, there you go. You just get Diet grapefruit.
Lisa likes Fresca.
Yeah.
I could see, okay, Eric says, people think I'm weird adding ice cream to a Ritz cracker. Ritz crackers are kind of sweet, though, so I can kind of see it.
You have the salty profile and the buttery profile, right? And both of those actually
would work.
Can complement that sort of thing. Oh, Squirt, yeah. There's also a grapefruit soda from Mexico that I forget who makes it. Is it made by Jarritos? I think Jarritos does make a grapefruit soda, and that is actually sweetened with sugar. So if you're one of those who's like, I don't like those bogus sugars, look up the Jarritos. They are available in many flavors. They all say natural flavors. I think the lime is quite good, and the orange is
Peter
is
says
quite
Schweppes
nice.
Makes the best flavored seltzer.
Oh, interesting. I wish one of these like big market companies, one of these major label companies, would make a tonic water without the fake sugar.
Are you thinking of Topo Chico?
Topo Chico looks like it does make one. I was not thinking of them.
That's grapefruit water.
That's grapefruit water. Oh, Tang is another one. That's actually Jamaican.
Jamaican, yeah.
Yep, that's a grapefruit soda. I believe that's sugar. And we do. It looks like we do have a Jarritos. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. And also available in the large bottles. And then we're getting into the Paloma mix, et cetera, et cetera. But, you know, easy enough. You can get yourself a pre-mixed, or you can realize that what we're really talking about is soda with one shot.
We found some Moxie. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great.
Moxie is either
he likes Moxie better than I do.
Either an acquired taste or will never happen. That's the thing. You know, you're either going to get used to it, or you're going to say, "Wow, who the hell ever came up with this stuff?" It's Moxie is actually very sweet. However, it has a bittering agent. The bittering agent is the same thing, and that's the major bitter in here. Yeah.
Ryan says Fresca has always been an ironic favorite in the North. I love it.
Well, Northeast, I think your favorite drink there, if you're hanging out there on Martha's Vineyard or something, is definitely going to be a G&T. So, frankly, Fresca kind of fits into that. You can do Fresca and
Devin,
gin
we
as
have
well.
that too.
Sure.
That bubbly. Yeah. Bubbly seltzer water. Yeah. Yes. We have had that.
Okay.
You can buy that here.
I think I think we might. Are we getting that over at, say, Christmas tree stores? They're the ones who usually have the 6-packs of soda with
We got
sugar.
it at AIDS Walk.
We did get that.
Remember it? Like, I think they were a sponsor.
Oh, that could be. They were really trying to
like,
improve their market share. Yeah, if you're looking.
Shasta, I know they still make some Shasta products.
I remember really liking Shasta Cola. Like all of these like knockoff colas that were just complete takeoffs of the big two there. I remember saying that was pretty good, and something called CNC.
Oh, I remember CNC.
Really tried to get some market share with some advertisements, and it's like, yeah, well, that was going to happen, but it was discounted, so it was actually
thanks,
cheap.
Gettysburg, ma'am. Yeah. I was so cold.
Oh, I tell you. Quite simply, as a youth.
Oh, yeah, Shasta Tiki Punch.
Yeah.
Gettysburg, ma'am. We have a friend who's very into the Shasta Tiki Punch.
He had a drink made with that was a knockout punch, but on its own, it's fairly refreshing. You remember something, and I forget which company made this, called Tahitian Treat. That was basically Shasta Tiki Punch in a can, but it had the palm trees on the can. I remember that being very refreshing.
Amy's aunt was visiting from Virginia Beach and had to have some Moxie. It's just so funny. I always think of that special we saw where the guy who was the curator of the Moxie Museum said it tasted like a well-used motor oil.
And he said that very deliberately, like a well-used.
Lisa grew up on Shasta.
It sort of does have a 10W30 consistency to it. And I will say that I remember trying it as a kid. And I thought it was really weird because it was just so sweet and bitter. And then one day I'm out in this blasting sun mowing the lawn as a teenager. I was just like, oh man, I'm dying out here.
I got curious.
And I was really thirsty, and I decided to grab the one thing that was available was the Moxie, and it was very refreshing.
Gettysburg Ma'am says it's not a party at their house without the Tiki Punch.
Tiki Punch. So what does Shasta have to say about itself?
Okay, so I brought up the Shasta website. There are a number of flavors available, including California Dreamin'.
I suspect that's your orange soda.
Mountain Rush, which the can is just a total knockoff of Mountain Dew.
I would call that a ripoff, to tell you the truth. And they're going to get in trouble for that.
And then the Tiki Punch, of course.
Mountain Rush, because what is it? It's like 4,000 milligrams of caffeine in a can.
Apple.
You know?
Shasta Cola. They're still doing it.
They're still kicking it.
They're still doing it. All right. Flavors. Oh, I'm just going to go to the flavors page.
Oh, hello.
Oh, my gosh.
Good grief. They go on and on with this stuff. They've
dozens.
Got tonic water.
Dozens.
They've got cherry twist. They've got orange, grapefruit, grape, ginger. All of these flavored seltzers. Diet Shasta twist.
Oh my gosh.
Pineapple. They got pineapple.
Strawberry. I think I've seen the pineapple. Now that you mention it, I think I've seen that.
I have to see if we can get that at
raspberry.
The local
something
market.
Called Fiesta Punch.
Fiesta Punch.
I gotta click on that.
Now, what in the world do we have?
Pineapple
and watermelon.
Watermelon.
Well, that sounds like yet another Tiki Punch.
Fiesta Punch and Tiki Punch.
Comes in 2 liters.
Tiki Punches. Just says brings the tropics to your taste buds.
Comes in a 3-liter size.
They're very non-specific.
So if you can find the 3-liter size, boy, your party has begun and will continue.
See, now I feel like we have to find the Fiesta Punch.
Fiesta Punch. I
remember Cactus Cooler, Doug. I loved Cactus Cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Dollar Tree. Yes, Gettysburg Map. You're so on the same wavelength. Yes, people buy it at Dollar Tree.
So the Dollar Tree does have the 3-liter size. Wow. That's fun.
Oh, hi, Dan. Dan says Elaine recommends Fever Tree Sparkling Pink Grapefruit. I think have we had that?
I'm not entirely sure we have.
Well, I will take the recommendation.
We have definitely had the Fever Tree regular tonic and one of the variations on tonic that they made, and I thought they were both really good. They make an excellent tonic. I wish it was in larger bottles.
What's California Dreamin'? Let's see what goes into that.
That's going to be orange soda. Oh,
it says it will
creamsicle.
Indulge your sweet tooth and delight your senses with this decadent orange cream treat.
So it's an orange Julius in a can. There you go.
All right, for the heck of it, let's click on locate.
Locate. Where can we find this stuff? CA Dreamin'. It is such a winter's day, come to think of it.
The only place you can get it in New York is CNS Wholesale Grocers.
Where the hell is that?
What is that?
Plattsburgh?
I don't know.
Man.
I don't know.
Oh,
boy.
We can get some pretty interesting sodas around here. There's actually a local joint that has a lot of sodas.
Okay, Fabs is saying you can buy them at the 99-cent store. All right, so we have to look, because I've definitely seen the Tiki Punch there.
Okay. I was just saying that we can get a lot of interesting sodas at the local
Beaver
market
Tree.
that has a lot of Caribbean products.
Oh, hi, Jeff. Jeff says Grocery Outlet and Smart and Final carry Shasta. Okay. That sounds like, that was sounded like an outlet store that I was reading about.
So, like I'm saying, this one store will actually get like 3 or 4 different varieties of ginger beer, some very good ones, as a matter of fact. But also some flavors that you're not going to find elsewhere, like yerba mate soda. Okay, that's off the beaten path.
All right, Gettysburg Ma'am dropped a recipe here for Tiki Punch with ginger ale, which sounds like that would be really good.
But only Verner's. Okay, no, that's very specific.
That makes sense.
Verner's does have a very specific ginger hit to it. It's good stuff, as I recall.
Hi, Johnny. Thank you. Good to see you.
Bingo. Hello, hello. Ding.
Oh, Sherry says, speaking of grapefruit, Shiner has a grapefruit beer called Redbird. Oh, okay.
I might have
for that. Have you
had
that?
I think I might have had that.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, Phil.
Good to see you.
Awesome to see you.
Yay.
Saw you in person recently. That was awesome. This is not quite as awesome, but it's good.
I'm trying to remember. Peter's saying, anyone ever tried Inca Cola?
Inca Cola. We have not tried Inca Cola.
We can buy it here.
We can buy Inca Cola. Yeah, I would try it. We have tried the yerba, which is actually pretty good. It's a very unique flavor. And tamarind soda is actually great. I really like the tamarind soda. You can get that from Jarritos, and there's a couple other brands that get you tamarind. And you can always just take some tamarind paste and throw it in some seltzer and see what the hell you get. It would be pretty tart. That's a real hallmark of it. But that's an important thing with these things, balancing the tart with the sweet. So, boom.
Speaking of.
Okay, so we have a thumbs down on Hires cream soda.
All right, another vote for Ruby Redbird. Yep.
Redbird, okay.
All right, well, we'll look for it. Jessica's grandmother's from Argentina, so we drink a lot of yerba mate tea. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we've had that. That's good.
I had an experience once where I worked at a store. When I worked at a record store, I had a customer from Brazil who insisted on sending up his own packing material. I think he was concerned about the fact that his local postal employees were throwing boxes all over the truck, and he just didn't want all of his records to be dinged up. So we had this box that was literally 6 inches wider than a record on each side. It was this big thing. And he sent it up. I opened the box, and there was a note saying, "Thank you so much." And there's like some stuff. And there was a box of yerba mate tea. I was like, oh, okay. So I remember trying it. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. I had it for years. And then like I started working at a place where I just thought, I'm just going to put this into the cabinet. And one of our lawyers, actually, it ended up being the place where I'm working now. One of our lawyers from, I believe, Colombia came up, found the box, and drank the whole thing. Suddenly she's like, yeah, mate, boom. And there you go. Naturally enough, you have to, would you like to retrieve a bombilla to demonstrate?
Sure, a little bit. Gettysburg Ma'am is saying, anyone a fan of sassafras soda? I think you might be.
I should be, because sassafras is basically the major flavor in what you might call either root beer.
Yeah, I was going to say, he likes the rooty drinks better than
all the roots. Root beer, birch beer.
Oh, Galco's. We shot a video at Galco's.
Yeah, we did. Check that out.
Galco's is the best.
Check that out.
Lisa likes the 70s commercials of the Hawaiian Punch guy socking the other guy with his punch.
Yeah. I like a nice Hawaiian Punch. Okay.
Sure.
Bang.
Bang.
Violence. Violence. It's like you get that between him and Kool-Aid guy, like your house is destroyed.
Oh, Dan is saying Connecticut has quite a few small local soda smiths. Are there any small batch sodas in the Hudson Valley? There are some that we've seen in Albany there's a store in Albany that sells a lot of.
Have been to.
Yeah, like nobody around here sells anything like that.
Where is Stewart's made? Are they actually New York State? They may be local enough to qualify.
Oh, Birch Beer. Is that wintergreen?
And Birch Beer.
Oh, Amy, if you could pick some up for Ohana, rock.
Yeah.
See, Amy can find Shasta at Big Lots, Dollar Tree, and Family Dollar. Yeah. Oh, yes, we're going to have to look. We're
going to have to look up to CNS and say, where in the world are you? And it's going to be in like Shirley, New York or something. Like, what?
Exactly.
What happened here? Bizarro but true.
Yes, then you have to come.
That's there we go. That's absolutely true. Yeah, I will put it in another big thumbs up for Galco's. That is a soda supermarket like you haven't seen until you realize it's also a candy supermarket and a beer supermarket and a wine supermarket, and there's a deli, which has like, the deli is like, oh, it's all like roasted meats that we did ourselves yesterday. It's just like, it's all these things they make themselves. It's just so fresh. And the soda selection is off the hook. Like, they literally have everything there. Is it made? They've got it.
Galcos?
Galcos.
Oh, yeah.
Galcos. And you can just like, there's a couple of seats you can grab a couple and sit down and get refreshed. And it's like, and they're big fans of soda with real sugar. There you go. So this is good to know. So, great place. Fantastic visit. That is in where, California?
Highland Park.
Highland Park. So there we go.
LA.
And it's also very close to the Tiki barbecue place.
Oh, Peter's saying Stewart's is based in the Capital Region. Okay.
Oh, well, so there we go. It's certainly Hudson Valley, although a little further up then. I don't know if we've got anybody more local than that yet, but who knows? Business opportunity. We're just saying. What's the...
sodas, you mean.
Yeah. I'm thinking of the Tiki Steakhouse. That's actually pretty close to Galco's. We were there too. Why am I spacing
Oh, it's not that. It's not like super close. Damon's.
And Damon's.
Yeah.
Yes. Damon's is, I hope they're still there. Very cool place. Very old school.
I mean, it wasn't close, but it was...
Well, I suppose there are many things that aren't particularly close within that region, and you're like, well, I'll just drive there. It's only 2 hours, you know.
It wasn't 2 hours.
2 hours, that's for sure. So...
It was about 10 minutes, I'd say.
Let's see.
Amy's like, yeah, wait, you know something I don't know? Planning on going to...
What?
You better be there.
Dang it.
We all better be there.
You know, I hope you can come, because you know it's going to be some crazy good time. That's just the thing.
Eric's saying, I wonder what kind of soda I'd make. I'm thinking of those contests, which, is it Lay's? Where you can name, or like you can
name a flavor
choose a flavor combination for chips, and it's a big contest. They should do that for soda.
Oh, yeah, they should, shouldn't they? So I think I'll actually proceed with another comfort beverage and just make my grog, because I haven't had a grog in a while. Haven't had a grog in a while because I haven't been able to find grapefruit juice locally.
Is this Quad's grog?
This is Quad's grog.
All right.
I think I'm gonna vary it up. Yeah. But so we'll make a variation. This is easy enough. But I did actually find grapefruit recently because I happened to be near another place we don't have, Trader Joe's.
Well, we have Trader Joe's in New York. But
Trader Joe's in New York. Actually, many of them.
We don't have fancy stores like
just not here. So, anyway.
Oh, I know. Oh, okay. David says Damon's is still there. Okay, great. We had a wonderful afternoon at Damon's.
Thank you for your local report, because I can't just go there.
Oh, Gettysburg Ma'am says a happy hour full of soda fountain recipes will be fun. Okay, we'll do that. We can do that.
I think we can handle.
I know about procuring tickets, Amy. I'm with you.
You know how it is.
Yeah, Damon's in Glendale. Yep.
You know how it is. So anyway, any good grog starts with some rum. And we're going to start, I like to do this combination with 2 rums, one of them being spiced, because I really don't use spiced in anything else. I got a pretty good spiced here, the Queequeg. Well, what do you know? Haha, not. Which is made in...
We might have some Queequegs here.
We might just. Portland, Maine. Portland, Maine. There you go. And I'll use a full ounce of that.
Do it.
I didn't use it up. Talk about dregs episode. We got to do that next time. Do it. And this will, I just add a ton of spice to this drink, so I think add a lot of spiced rum, right? Now, I think if you're making something that is basically supposed to be a Navy type drink, then to have a Navy type rum, and Puster's fills the bill. If you like a little octane in that, of course, there's overproof Navy rum. There are several stripes of that out
Navy
there
rum,
now.
not nanny rum.
Not nanny rum.
I just said.
Not nanny rum. What's nanny rum? So anyway, there we go.
It's rum that nannies drink.
Let's see. Yeah, it's got that sort of like it's aged.
Yeah.
It's got that pot still flavor to it. It's not really, really funky like certain Jamaican rum, which is kind of fun. Dr. Bird comes to mind. That's got the fun.
Yeah.
Yep. Interesting to make this with that, but we're going to stick with the classic combo spiced puffers. I like to add about half an ounce of lemon or lime juice. I think normally we have lime, but you know, they just haven't been good lately.
Well, since this is a variation,
so
I put lemon.
Yeah, so I'm using lemon. I like to add 3/4 of an ounce of the grapefruit. I already shook this up, so there we go. It turns out this is in fact ruby red. I cannot seem to get the white grapefruit juice to save anybody's life. Nobody can. There we go. Ping, ping, ping. So this is going to add some sweet and particular kind of bitter.
Ruby pink.
Ruby pink? Oh, ruby pink.
It's ruby pink.
That's ruby. Ruby, baby. Half an ounce of, this is not in fact Orinoco rum as it says. This is in fact pimento liqueur as it says, which we made. I like to make the pimento because it's easy and the flavor improves over time. About half an ounce there. One of our correspondents, I believe in Texas, I think it was Aaron, decided to, he was asking about the formula and I said, here you go, try this out. He made it and he's been using it and he's been very happy with it. You can obviously, these days, finally find on your local liquor, well-stocked liquor store will have
Quick rum, chicken or egg.
Oh.
The color will be pretty unsettled. Yes, it will. It's already looking pretty unsettled.
It is pretty unsettled. I'm trying to think what I was about to say. Oh, there's a couple of good pimentos on the market now. I think House Alpens is dispensing St. Elizabeth, the allspice dram. And then doesn't Bittermans do a line of liquors and liqueurs now? And they're selling one. And that, thankfully, is in a 750
Bitter Truth,
bottle.
I think you're thinking.
Bitter Truth,
yeah.
not Bittermans. Sorry, Bittermans. I was actually talking about Bitter Truth. Sorry, Bitter Truth.
Trey's episode. You'd have to make a Matt Dillon. It's the booze sailors would wring out of a bar mat, usually after they'd spent all the cash.
There are stories
well,
about disreputable 19th century bars, and let's just say we're very thankful for something called the Pure Food and Drug Act. So,
you don't want to waste.
What else goes in here? Normally, I would throw in some honey mix, and I don't have any right now, and I thought, oh, what the hell? Just use what you have, because you've got some plenty good stuff in there. And we happen to have falernum.
You're using the pimento and the falernum?
Yep. I'll use a half ounce of that.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm going to see just how sweet that got. I might want to add a little more in the way of lemon, balance that out. It's a fair amount of the liqueurs going in.
It's a lot of spice.
I like a lot of spice.
It's a lot of spice.
That's a lot of spice.
All the spice.
It's kind of like a double hit.
It's not all spice, it's all the spice.
It's all the spice. It's like a double hit on the clove, that's for sure. Let's see where we are. Yep. A little more lemon. So we'll increase the lemon to 3/4 as well.
Okay.
There we go. And let's hit that with some bitters, folks. I'm going to do that two ways. About 4 dashes there. Shake them up.
Now there's no honey in this, you said, right?
No honey mix.
Okay.
Normally, that's a standard issue quads grog. I realized that I have really liked that flavor note going in there. If you happen to have honey liqueur, that might work pretty well as well. And you know what?
Peter's asking how sharp is the flavor. Oh, yeah, by the way, I mean, which came first, the rum or the chapter? I think the chapter did, actually. Didn't it?
I think the chapter emerged before
the chapter did emerge before the rum.
Interestingly. Yeah, I think the chapter was formed before a lot of these New England companies were producing rum again. So suddenly they start exploding, and then it's like, well, what do you know? That's like, it's a territory. So they just went to town on
Peter's asking, how sharp is the flavor of pimento liqueur? I think it's just, the longer it sits, the more and more spicy it gets. So I feel like, for me, like I would have to dilute it more and more and more the longer it sits.
There is an upper limit to that. I think after maybe 3 months, you've kind of like, you mellowed out. The flavor starts out very sharp and very, got a very alcohol bite to it because it's an alcohol extract. But then when it sits in the sugar syrup, it does mellow out to the point where it attains this like very spicy, sort of a Christmas cookie hit to it. And I think like you could take a sip of it straight up. I would recommend using it as a flavoring agent and things like we do.
Very spicy. And I love spice.
I used half an ounce. That's all I need to use here.
That's enough, yeah.
Now, let's do this.
I want to try it.
I am going to use...
Since I don't know what I'm allergic to.
Because we still have these fun...
We might all watch me have an allergic reaction.
Vicks Valentine's glasses. I'm going to use this again before we put this away for season. And let's see. If I'm smart, I did bring over some seltzer.
I was going to say, we have straws. Oh.
Top with a good finger of seltzer. I like that, like there. That's going to dilute a bit with fizz, which I like a lot. If you really would like a big ginger hit, you could throw maybe ginger beer in there. And that's not going to kill the flavor as much as it will alter it. And you might need to balance out with a little bit more of your citrus. So, there we go. I would be very happy with the straw.
Right behind you. Well, here.
Oh, and boom. And same. Hello.
You want a little umbrella? Have a little pink.
I would very
a little pink umbrella to go with your little
appreciate
pink glass.
a little pink umbrella and my little pink glass. And there it goes. And the last thing I'm going to do, last two things. I'm going to give myself a nice veal swizzle because, hey.
Lisa says, when I think of pimento, I don't think cocktail drink. I think sandwich. I think of olive.
Pimento loaf. Absolutely. We can bear in mind
pimento loaf.
And I added 4 more dashes of the bitters on top just to have that sort of sitting there. And that will eventually sort of wend its way into the rest of the drink. And would you like to sample that, please? So that's your classic Quab's grog. I varied it up a little bit because I used a different sweetener. And that should be just fine.
It's good.
Yeah, it's a good little thing.
I like that.
Good little thing. That's a tropical, which I like.
Would you mind passing that down?
I don't mind.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, I gotta look this up.
Let's check it out. So, what's the deal with pimento and pimento? Pimento that goes in your olive loaf goes inside your olives, and that, of course, is a marinated pepper. And I don't know who first thought of stuffing peppers with, or stuffing olives with peppers, but the simple fact is that olives have been stuffed with a lot of things for a long time.
I had to look up spimento loaf.
Spimento.
Because I was in a play where they called it spimento loaf, not pimento loaf, spimento loaf. So I had to look up whether that's a thing, and it is not.
It is not.
So it just makes me think like maybe it's spam with pimento.
Spimento. Oh,
Spimento
spam
loaf.
with pimento added. Oh, that'd be fun. Like a spam loaf. Uh-huh. Now, pimento in the liqueur, of course, is...
Errol, we love some chili powder. It sounds great.
Jamaicans would call pimento, which is the allspice berry.
Ooh, olive stuffed with blue cheese. Yummy.
There we go. You see, you can stuff olives with all sorts of things. I've seen it with anchovies. Not a lot of people aren't going to like that. But blue cheese, yeah, sure. You put that in the drink and you get a little bit of like that oiliness on the top. And that is definitely going to kick your martini a specific way.
Now I'm envious because I had my drink and I had my Diet Coke. So now
you need a thing.
No, I want a thing.
You need Drinky 4, as it says right there.
Drinky 4.
Drinky 4.
I call them Drinky whatever number until I give them names
until
later.
Until we figure these things out.
Drinky 4. Oh, anyway, Drinky 4V.
Some of these ingredients in here are a little esoteric, but these days, again, it's not that hard to find a good pimento on the market. You can certainly find a formula and make it yourself. If you can't and you would like to, drop us a personal and I'll get you what I do with it. It's a pretty simple thing that comes to us from Mr. Matt Thatcher. The falernum you can buy commercially, a couple of 3 brands these days, and you can also make that yourself, and that's a fast make, like overnight.
Ooh, dirty stuffed olive, yes.
Dirty stuffed olive. Now you're talking. It's like you've got those dirty olives in a jar, and then some of them is basically just a jar of brine, and you're supposed to pour that into your martini for your dirty martini.
Yummy.
I like a little dirty martini.
I need a shaker.
Sure.
Do you mind? You've got more space than I have.
I do have more space.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm missing the shaker part. Pardon me.
We got a lot of shakers.
We do have a lot of shakers.
We'll figure it out.
Gotta reach around until we find
what we
need.
Thank you.
4th floor.
That will
Ladies
do
apparel.
Perfectly. All right. I am thinking. Yes, wiki.
Wiki does mean quickly. Absolutely.
Yeah, the blue cheese olive. It's really good, actually.
Try the blue cheese olives. You can
getting some love.
Probably find 2 or 3 brands on the market that are doing those, or maybe your local supermarket has all the prepared food sections. Somebody's stuffing some blue cheese and olives, and you get them in the little like plastic tub. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Fresh olives.
Well, good night to your girlfriend too, Eric. Martinis. Oh, I love a martini too.
2 at the most.
I'm with Dorothy Parker.
Yep.
I love a martini.
You know what they say? You know what Dorothy said?
2 at the most.
1 martini, 2 martini.
That's not what she said.
3 martini.
Oh my God, he always makes that joke. You sound so old when you make that joke.
Can't remember the rest.
You sound so old.
I had 4 martinis once. They were large. That was not wise.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Devin was at a bar where she ordered a Bloody Mary. And the bartender brought out this big glass jar of olives. She looked at me and was like, "Do you really like olives?" I was like, "Yes, I do."
Yes,
and she stuck her gloved hand in there and gave me like 2 bulging handfuls of olives. I would love that too. I love olives.
I like the reference to the gloved hand in that case. Yes.
I'm watching a lot of Hawaii Five-0
Oh,
lately.
5-0 is a good thing to watch.
Hawaii Five-0 is the best.
Please, I wish you would.
All right.
That's good. So that's reminding me, of course, of that famous episode of the original Sex of the City where they go to this very waspy party and it's like, there's no food? No, there's no food here.
Well, because it was a waspy party.
Very waspy party. So who was it, Miranda, who just goes to the bartender and
no,
says...
it was Samantha.
Oh, Samantha, yeah. It's like, I'd like a large martini with 9 olives.
7.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was like, well, she's like, where's the food? And like, there's no food. This is a wasp party. It was just like all booze. So she just goes up to the bar. I'll have a martini with 7 olives.
The 60s, 70s 5-0, of course, has a lot of great
original. Lisa's watching the original.
A lot of great original theme music. You can find that soundtrack pretty easily up on your secondary sources.
That's what Satellite's making next. Copies. Martini with blue cheese olives. Well, we got to do that on a future video, too.
Oh, hello. Now we're talking.
Yeah, I like the soda fountain idea. I like the martini.
The martini variations?
Yes, with the olive variations. It could just be an olive buffet.
There's a lot. There's those drunk olives that are out there. And we've had some, the ones that are really huge olives. I love like making sort of a Nick and Nora martini, which is basically about a 1.5 ounce pour. And then putting in this massive olive. Maybe 2 on a skewer.
3 at the most.
Yeah, 3 at the most. But definitely.
Okay, so that was 2 ounces of reposado.
Reposado is nice because it's rested. It's been hanging out in the barrel for a while. It gains flavor, it gains character, it mellows a bit.
What else do I want to put in this masterpiece I'm about to make?
This masterpiece of thingy. Well, let's see what you have available to you.
I've got vanilla.
You get the vanilla, you get the ginger, you even have drambuie. How about that?
I think I'm going to go searching. I'll be right back. In search of.
She's trying to find Leonard Nimoy. Not going to find him.
Not going to find him here.
Yep.
All right. Let's see.
Anyway, I recommend a Quads Grog. 2 at the most. No, I usually do not make the same drink twice. Interesting note. Why? Because if I liked it the first time, I want something different the next time. I just like variety. That's all. I also believe in cocktail graduation. Like you start with the heavy hitters, the all booze drinks. You move on to a mixed. You might move on to, say, a Collins type thing. You see, you're diluting it more and more on the way, and then eventually it's decaf. More on. Yeah, more. Well, you can't spill more without spilling Ron. Just remember.
Ooh,
yummy. No, Lilith that's a fun thing.
That's a fun one.
If anybody out there has seen the formula for that Bond Martini, the Vesper.
Oh, that sounds great, Dan. The rosy pink.
Fever Tree Pink, Hendrix Rose. Oh.
That sounds great.
Somebody's got fresh rosemary. Oh. We had fresh rosemary, and then it turned into like 10 below for several days, and I think now we have a desiccated twig.
I love Jack, Laura, and Eric.
But we're going to have fresh rosemary again in the spring because we always get fresh rosemary. It's awesome.
Oh, McGarrett, yeah.
All the way into the fall. But definitely.
Oh, yeah, and the squealing the tires on the road.
Oh, yeah.
I love the original 5-0.
It's very Police Squad, I'm just saying. Police Squad is definitely like taking
that
off
sounds
that
great,
5-0
too.
thing.
Substituting the blue cheese for a tangy feta cheese. That sounds great.
Well, there's a thing. Those are both very tangy cheeses.
So I'm taking my inspiration from Shasta, of all things.
And going with a little...
I'm going to do, like, they were talking about the orange cream.
Orange cream.
The orange... What was it? California Dreamin'?
California Dreamin'.
Soda.
I think they're completely in this. This is a bit of an obscure reference, but I think they're ripping off those Sunkist commercials from the 70s and 80s.
Well, they were ripping off Mountain Dew.
That actually, that used Good Vibrations in their commercials.
Oh, yeah.
So you've got that whole California vibe associated with orange soda, and they're just like, what are we going to call this? We're going to call this a hit for a different California group, so they can get this Mamas and the Papas hit going on. Yeah, hilarious, guys. Think we didn't notice, huh?
All right, so I'm going, I call that a third of an ounce each. I did 2 ounces of my Reposado tequila, and then I'm going to say a third of an ounce of the Vanille de Madagascar, and then a third of the ounce of the Giffard Curacao Triple Sec. And I'm going to say 3/4 of an ounce of the lemon again, because that's a lot of sweet stuff. And then, let's see.
How much of the lemon did you use again?
3/4.
3/4 ounce. Okay, there we go.
All right, let's. Maybe I'll just do the cocoa bitters again. Keep it simple. No.
Nope. You have orange.
Straight up go with the
Okay.
aromatic bitters.
How many dashes?
4.
You got me.
I also got the keyboard right there.
Oh!
So.
Careful. 4 dashes. Okay, so 4. D.
You got it. I'll take it from here later.
Boom. There we go.
Shake with ice.
And
I need my ice.
strain into a cocktail glass.
Hi, Keith. Good to see you.
Hey, Keith. Good to see you, too. I'm just saying.
All right, I think we're caught up on comments. Okay.
We, of course, within our
This is
time...
like exactly right behind me tonight.
Within our time, have made 2 different drinks called McGarrett's Head.
I think we called one like the head of McGarrett.
Head of McGarrett, and
then like McGarrett's
I
head.
kind of forgot what was in Head of McGarrett, so I made it again, and I did something else, and it was Head of McGarrett number 2. So those are out there somewhere.
That sounds wrong.
If you really want to know what's in those, I'll try to dig it up, and I should be able to find it pretty well. I remember they were both good. But we were pouring those into the McGarrett mug that you can get from Tiki Farm because it's so cool. And, listen, if you actually don't actually have the McGarrett
I don't think
mug,
you can get it anymore.
You're trying to sell the thing.
Try eBay.
Try eBay.
Try eBay.
It's pretty cool.
All right. Are there any more chilled cocktail glasses?
Yes, as a matter of fact.
I will take one.
There are.
If you don't mind.
Let's get her a chilled cocktail glass, shall we?
Thank you.
Yeah. You love it?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, things are looking up. Things are looking up. Thank you. I'm gonna put the umbrella on the glass first.
Yes, that's wise. We have these little cocktail umbrellas. I believe they're made by Fred, and they are in our store.
I don't know if they are.
Oh, okay.
If they're not, they will be by tomorrow.
They will be by tomorrow, folks. You see a little banner at the lower left of your screen that has our Amazon shop. That's just an Amazon shop. What do you need?
I need it back. My glass.
Oh, sure. This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't realize I had a sidecar here.
You got a whole sidecar going on. And boom.
Happy to have it, too.
So if you would like to find things at our Amazon shop, go take a look.
Lisa, I haven't fallen asleep during a live video, but I've fallen asleep after a live video.
Yeah. I think I've always managed to remain standing. That's a positive thing. And we have had a number of drinks sometimes. We tend to be just a few these days because let's stay sane, after all. We're all working from the remote office these days, and tomorrow my office will be right here. This is my standing desk.
He does work here.
I do work here. I also work just right over there with the table as a desk, and that's just because it's a little chilly downstairs where my actual office is. So...
I actually work in the other room.
You work in an office that actually looks like an office because it is the designated office.
Well, no. I mean, it's Glendora's room.
Yep.
Put it that way.
Also the studio, also the music studio. It's a multi-purpose kind of place. Yes, I was name-checking the McGarrett mug from Tiki Farm. It's an awesome piece. We're being told that it's off the market now. Maybe we can determine.
They haven't made that in years.
Maybe we can determine just like what rates it's hitting, because I'm not going to recommend that you go out and find this if it's trading hands for like several figures on the secondary market, because that's absurd.
Oh, it's going for some money.
Yeah, it is. Okay. Well, shucks.
175.
That's an ask.
On eBay.
That's not a
Although I know people who pay way more than $175 for a tiki mug.
175.
Not me. But
well, that was zero.
Other people.
That was zero bids, so that may be wishful thinking. I don't know.
It's not buy it now, is it?
You know, if you're really interested, look around. Look around. It'll turn up.
Oh, it's coasters. It's like this one's $12.51, but it's coasters.
It's actually 4 coasters. Yeah, come to think of it.
Although I kind of want them.
Those are really cool.
I kind of want the McGarrett coasters for $12.
For $12.50? What the heck, you know?
This is why I don't get on eBay. Like, oh, look, a thing I didn't know I needed.
I didn't know I needed. Now I got to buy 2 of them, you know? But if you want some cool coasters from 5.0, original series, 5.0 TOS, then check them out on eBay. They're there.
Oh, yeah, I know. Gettysburg Ma'am saying she works from home, too, on 16-degree mornings where I don't have to walk out to the car. Yeah. That was like this morning when I had to get off the train.
How many days?
Yes, Paul is still working from home.
This is the office right here. This is typically where I'm working from half the day. I will do a standing desk, and this is the standing desk. And then I'll do a sitting desk, and that's actually over there, and I just kind of sit at the table. And it's because the audio system's in here. I just listen to music all day long, and I've been listening to a lot of fun stuff lately. So
Harold says, I knew a guy that fell asleep on a tractor and woke up in a farm pond. Oops.
You hear sometimes about people falling asleep at the wheel and terrible things happen, and then you see videos online of people asleep at the wheel who are just driving along at like 75 mph, zoom, and I'm like, good grief! Wake up! Crazy things. Cops, what can I tell you? World's dumbest. Yowza.
I'm reading Eric's comment about leaving YouTube on autoplay and falling asleep to it. It proves the algorithm is flawed.
The algorithm is reacting to whatever you're doing, which might be a little random, and it can't figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I think about when I get on one of these music services and I start playing music, and I'm just all over the damn place. And after a while, it doesn't know what the hell to serve me. So they're like, oh, try this. And I'm like, no, that's wrong, you know. And it tries to learn, and I think, yeah, keep trying, because I keep throwing curveballs because I keep listening to something else. It's all worth listening to. This is a world of sound. There is no such thing as silence. You could be in a quiet room in an acoustic chamber at Bell Laboratories, and there's no such thing as silence.
You know, I was noticing that when I woke up, because I was noticing that, like, it was silent, but I was noticing the room tone was really kind of loud. Room
tone tends to be loud. If you edit video,
yeah,
and you find that you have to duck some sound, you will be really ruining it because there's no such thing as silence in a room.
Yeah, because you get rid of the sound and like, wow, okay, it doesn't sound like the rest of the video because the rest of the video is room tone.
Professional recordists will always get like a minute or two of just dead air at the end of the thing, and that is your room tone. And when you loop that in, you match the sound.
Oh, Gettysburg Ma'am, thank you. That's so sweet.
Thank you. Favorite videos.
I appreciate you letting our videos run.
Hey, you know,
thank you.
Drop us a line of what your favorite videos are. That's fun to know. I mean, we literally have 1 million of them by now. We just keep doing.
We got 1 million of them.
Yeah, I got 1 million of them. You know, the other fun thing that I'm making a reference, by the way, to a kind of a semi-famous reference to something that happened in, I think, the late 1960s. So this composer, you've heard of him, John Cage, decided to actually, he used to work with a lot of noise and not noise and all sorts of like just weird found sound kind of things. A lot of experiments. Some of them are really fun. Some of them are like, yeah, whatever. And so he did an experiment where he goes to Bell Laboratories and they have what they call an anechoic chamber. This is like completely dead. No echoes. This is going to absorb all the sound. They use this to test speakers to see where like the problems are, so that they can perfect that, and then the speaker will work properly. So he gets in this thing, and it's just absorbing everything. And he's sitting there, and after a while, he said he heard 2 noises, and he was like, "Oh, that's interesting." He heard a really low rumbling noise, and then he heard a very high pitched noise, very high pitched sound. Now, low and high are misnomers. That's really slow and fast. You know, a very slow sound, a very fast sound. And he thought, okay, well, that's interesting, but I don't know what the hell that is. Because this is supposed to absorb all the sound. So he gets out of the chamber, he talks to the guy, the technician. He's like, Oh, well, here's the interesting thing. It's like, I heard some noise in there. He said, what did you hear? Well, I heard a very low noise. And he said, that's the sound of the blood rushing through your veins. He said, I heard a very high-pitched noise. He said, that's the sound of the electrical impulses in your brain that you normally can't hear because you get a lot of ambient sound happening.
I think
around
I might have been hearing the electrical impulses in my brain.
I've heard that
That's
from
kind of
time
what
to
it
time.
sounded like.
And once in a while, like this ear kind of goes out, and I can hear this high-pitched noise, and that's brainwaves. That's brainwaves.
Peter's been listening
There's
to
no
Love
such thing as
for
sound.
Sale recently. Oh, Satellite says you have a lot of videos. I know.
You don't say.
Is it live or memorized?
Yeah.
Eric says, I was half asleep, but then later realized I kept hearing something where a bunch of guys were going, ew, ew, ew. Jeez.
Okay. Just there's people trying worms on live television. Big fun, I gotta tell you.
Oh, boy.
But look, in conclusion, that's the kicker. At the end of the day, you can make it as quiet as possible, and there's no such thing as sounds because your own head is making noise. And I've certainly heard that rushing noise. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because quiet enough. The high-pitched noise, yeah. Brainwaves, brain activity, electrical impulses. There's no such thing as silence.
Yeah. Waking up to brain activity.
It's all around you at all times. So I really just try to throw a lot of things on because there's a lot to listen to.
He does. He listens to music all day long.
I will just put things on that I haven't heard or things that I've owned for a long time and haven't heard, and I think, you own it, play it, fool.
I can't because I write, so I have to close the door.
No, you got to close off.
I need quiet.
I'm here doing spreadsheets, so I will listen to music, and it just makes the work go much better. Thank you. If you want to know what I've been listening to, drop me a personal, and I'll throw on a playlist.
I've heard of that. A NIST lab.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's just
I don't know what that is, but I've heard that term.
Yep. They
deadened, we had a NIST lab.
I think they deadened the walls, and it just absorbs everything.
Oh.
And the idea behind that is that what you're trying to get to is something without echoes, so you can measure what's going on from your sound source. Are you trying to make a better loudspeaker? You need to know where the resonance is, and you need to kill everything else to try to nail that shot, so you can kill the resonance and make that work better. So that'll work. This comes at a price.
Hi, Daniel. Good to see you.
And good sound is not cheap, but it's also not particularly expensive.
So, well, as long as we're on the subject.
I know we're on the subject.
As long as we're on the subject.
So anyway, as long as we're on the subject, I'm going to tell you something.
Do you have a type of music or sound that you just can't stand?
You're asking this question to the audience.
I am.
Okay.
I am. I'm curious.
Mm-hmm. What can't you stand?
I have particular songs that make me want to drive a stake through my temple. And I'm just curious if you do too. And on that note, I'll let your brains
and away
churn.
we go. I'm certain that you all have a particular thing. We all have a particular thing. And I got to say, I listen to a lot of things which would probably be termed pretty noise or irritating. And I don't recommend that you do.
It'll say NIST, National Institute of Standards.
Oh,
okay. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Marking
because I've heard that term, but I never knew what it meant.
There you go. NIST.
Country, Satellite says.
Country!
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's actually a lot of people's Achilles heel. And I got to say, it really depends on the country. At the exact moment where we're launching our show, there's a terrific show that happens on WFMU. You can get that on WFMU.org, which is all about country music. And she plays a great set of stuff. It's really heavily into the 50s and 60s.
Well, the good news is it's archived. So if you watch our video, you can go listen to it.
Let's go listen to it later. I do that sometimes. And she has this fantastic selection of singles, and it's all really cool stuff.
Rush.
It makes you think, yeah.
Rush. Rush. That's so funny because we have a friend who's so into Rush.
Oh, yeah. No, we do. And the fact is that we'll have a lot of people here would be like, pro and con on Rush. So it's all over the place. Absolutely.
Okay, Dan says, can't stand AM radio. The distortion drives me nuts. Not a fan of most country music either. Yeah, I think it's... I feel like the only country music I like is like Johnny Cash or Dolly Parton.
Give me anything recorded probably from about 1945 to about 1972. And you've got like a bracket in there with a ton of really
prog rock,
stuff.
Amy says.
And past that, man, it starts to get into nothing. Contemporary stuff that's called country just sounds like pop music to me. And it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's just like pop music with a hick accent, and I think it's kind of hokey.
See, Lisa loves Rush.
It's
so
hokey.
funny. We have a friend who does too.
There you go.
But I know, but people can't stand. I got to say that I am going to be punished for saying this. I will wake up in the middle of the night, and this song will be playing incessantly through my head. But
because you stated it.
I cannot stand the song "Walking on Sunshine."
You named it.
Oh my God! And they play it at our supermarket.
Oh, all the damn time.
Like I just
because
like
the
all I can do is
supermarket.
leave.
What is the supermarket playing? The music of your life.
Oh.
And the music of your life is now currently music of my life, which means that I'm the old folks. And I just think, yeah, but you know, back in the day, that was a playlist I wasn't playing because I thought it was, forget it.
I like Danielle's quote. I call new country twangy pop. Yeah, exactly.
Bingo. It's just pop with a hick accent.
Oh, thank you, Gettysburg, ma'am.
Frankly, I think that's a little insulting to both things there. So. No.
Yeah, Paul has, oh wait. Can only pick up one rock station. I don't want Harold's comment about AM radio. Paul has a much more open mind for listening to music than I have. I'm like, nope. He'll listen to where I have to open the door and be like, what are you playing?
What the bleep? Yeah. I gotta tell you.
Like, is this what they play to torture people and can't, like, anyway?
It was played as a torture device in the Philippines.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing. There's also, we were talking about broadcasting, and the subject of AM radio, I gotta say, AM has gotten so bad in terms of audio.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Eric.
And it doesn't have to be.
We're really simpatico on Walking on Sunshine because I would love to just, if it were possible, to kill a song.
Okay, so the guitarist on that, who also co-composed the song, who was that? And what was his original group? Go.
I don't know, and
anybody?
I don't want to know.
Who the hell
it's an abomination. Oh, Julie's with us too. Oh my gosh. I feel seen. I feel like I hate that song so much.
One thing is that it got way too much airplay.
It's, you know, I think it's something about, I think there's a certain pitch that my brain hates.
Yeah, well, there is such a thing, you know.
I think there's just a particular pitch that she keeps hitting that I'm just like, because I hate to say it. Have you seen the Walter Murch story? I have not. No.
Guess we'll look that up.
Because I know she was very, very talented and rest her, but Whitney Houston hits that pitch a lot.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it's amazing talent, horrifyingly sad death, but wow, some of those pitches.
Free drink at Ohana Music at Ohana Lake for Amy. Boom, soft boys indeed, and they're fantastic. They were like a lot of fun. Kim Rue actually was the guitarist for the boys, and they deliver like
Peter. You and Paul have a lot to talk about because Paul really doesn't like Tears for Fears either.
I actually like
the early Tears.
I liked the first time a lot. I realized I liked the first time a lot, and I don't like much past that, which means that they, of course, they grew into something I don't like. That happens too. That happens a lot. Sometimes they grow into something I like. Who knows?
Sell out.
Hey, you know, you listen to, what was that? Usually these groups who were making very abrasive stuff around 1979.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Got like
Joe says, everyone who knows me knows I don't like the Pina Colada song. You know why I do like that song? It has nothing to do with the song itself. It is just pure 70s sleaze.
Yeah.
And I like me some pure 70s
This is your big, you know.
It's so sleazy, and when you just like dive into the lyrics, it just gets sleazier.
High infidelity.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the Soft Boys. Oh, wow. Cool.
Oh, wow. Yeah, Daniel doesn't like it either.
I would have been glad to join you, but I didn't know at the time.
See, I can like create a playlist of horribly sleazy 70s songs, and I'm just...
Oh. Joe had a great comment just a few back
so
here.
Happy.
Duke Ellington, there's only two types of music. Good and bad. And yeah, there's really, that's it. That's it.
The lyrics are dumb. The lyrics are dumb and sleazy.
Yeah. It's a simple damn
I
thing.
feel like if Rupert Holmes can write a song, so can I, because the lyrics are dumb and sleazy, and it was a huge hit, which shows that people are stupid. Yeah, well, yeah, we listen to a wide range of music. I love it.
So let's see, FM and AM and pulse frequency modulation. Not for broadcast as far as I know. Dan, what's BFM? I've heard of that in a different context too, but I don't think that's ever been used for a broadcast standard. You've got your shortwave, you've got your frequency mod, you've got your AM, your amplitude modulation. AM does not need to sound so bad. Usually these stations are just heavily compressed and it just distorts everything. It's horrible. But back in the day when you were listening to in the 40s, you were listening to the symphony broadcast from Carnegie Hall, like that sounded better than your AM radio now. So that has deteriorated in 80 years. Sorry. Sorry.
Now I've got Escape the Pina Colada song stuck in my head, which is only good because I didn't want to have
the unmentionable and stuck in your head.
Stuck in my head.
Don't say it. Don't say it. No, there you go.
Anyway,
and there you go. I'm just trying to block the horrible noise that's about to hit you.
Oh God! I'll wake up with it.
No way, you can't do it. That song that is really nails on the chalkboard. And you know what? They had better songs, and they weren't hits. And that is so often the case. One has to say, particularly a band that's known for one song. It's like the rest of their catalog wasn't so bad, but that song was hideous.
You haven't rung in.
On what?
Any songs that drive you to distraction?
I'm trying to think if there's a thing that just drives me nuts and I say, get out. Just get out. There's probably a lot, and maybe I'm just blocking it. I got to think about it, because I listen to so many things.
I feel like you make fun of a lot of things that we listen to.
I got to think that I listen to so many things that would be considered horrible screeching noise that I'm not really in a position to say, this is terrible. It's like, I don't know what is terrible. I'm listening to things that I think are pretty outre. And sometimes it's kind of fun because it's structured that way. And sometimes it's like, wow, this is a torture device. Yeah. And I can't listen to that all day long. Sometimes I turn on my local station and I say, what the hell are you playing?
Oh, fantasy. I didn't know why people like Billie Eilish. I only know like one or two songs, and I can see why you would say that. I think that like people, I know one person who really, really likes her, and he's like, he likes the super emo nature. Yeah.
Well, big, huge hit does not equal instant gratification for the entire population. That's just a fact. And
oh, wow. Peter says, I had a shortwave radio. The sounds were horrible, but the stations I would get were amazing. I believe that.
You get stations around the world. Back in the day when AM was the only game in town, you could get stuff all over the globe. And if they had enough watts, you could do it, and you had a sensitive enough receiver. And shortwave is, the actual quality coming out there is pretty compromised, particularly these days. But if you're hearing it coming from Argentina or from the Ukraine, hey.
Okay, wait. Eric made me think of a question here. Oh, Lisa's saying he used to roller skate to the Pina Colada song. I think of a lot of these songs like roller skating songs, actually.
Yeah.
It's not singing. Yeah, it's not singing. Maybe it's the songwriting. She wrote her own songs? I think she
does.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she
that's
does.
it.
That's it. So there's the thing. It's like,
all right.
Whatever's supposed to be like the big flavor of the moment is
no, I have respect for songwriters. I really do.
Flavor.
Even if I don't want to hear it, I respect that you write songs.
I will.
I write the songs. Anyway.
I write the songs. Who wrote that song? Quick. We were just listening to that from the Captain and Tennille. What do you know?
Yes. Which was weird because she was singing it, but
it was not that weird within context. But who wrote the song? Quick.
I write the songs.
I write the songs.
Quick without Googling it.
Big hit for somebody who did not write it.
Quick without Googling.
Big hit for somebody who wrote a lot of songs but didn't write that song.
Eric was talking about police radio frequency band. I'm very perturbed. And like if I had like shortwave or whatever, could I get the police band? Because there's no police band to be gotten here. And it bothers me because I would entertain myself for hours listening to
You can
Police
blues band.
Band. No, you can't hear.
Wow.
Not online.
So you just need to build a police receiver.
If I had a police receiver, I would sit there for hours listening to.
Well, sounds like my next project. There,
Barry
folks.
Manilow sang it.
Yes.
Barry Manilow sang it,
Didn't
but
write
he
it.
wrote it.
Didn't write it. He had the big hit with the song. Who wrote the song?
Who wrote it?
Oh, yeah. I always know about Barry. Barry's well known for writing a lot of stuff, including a lot of commercial jingles. Did not write songs. Amazing, but true. Anybody?
It is a dumb song show. I'm
Oh.
completely with you on the dumbness of that song.
And Joe is a real connoisseur because he actually listens to Casey's Top 40 Countdown, the archive shows. He's got Casey Kasem going on the satellite radio.
Kenny's Man says, I could do without hearing Muskrat Love again.
So could I.
All right, yeah, we're getting closer.
We're getting closer and closer.
Getting closer, but
And Joe is listening to all of these Casey's countdowns from the 80s and whatnot. And whenever he does like 1974, Joe is like, this is the worst year for pop music that ever is in
not just who wrote I Write the Songs, but who was it written about? Because
that's
he did
the
not write it about himself.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, Julie says I can't listen to You Light Up My Life. See, I would put that on a playlist with the Pina Colada song.
Not true enough. The fact that you cannot listen to it is inversely proportional to its chart performance, which was like #1 for 5 weeks.
And inversely proportionate
ungodly.
to how much Kelly will listen to it when she's had a hard
It's
day.
ungodly.
It's like I round up the worst songs ever when I've had a hard day. And like
The only justice is that Debbie Boone only had the one hit, and like she really didn't do anything otherwise.
Oh, Dan says, I suspect a police scanner would generate a lot of Glendora. I guess I think you're right. All right.
Okay.
We still haven't gotten there yet.
We haven't gotten there.
Like part A of the question is who wrote it, and part B is who was it written about.
And the fact is that all 3 elements are related. I was named checking the Captain and Tennille. Now that's stuff definitely related to the whole issue. Oh yeah.
Joe says 1974 worst pop music year ever.
There's a specific reason why you were so tuned into it at the time. And I got to say, I'm sorry. I was there too, but it just didn't seem like that much at the time. But in retrospect, it was horrible. It was truly horrible. There was just like, maybe there were a couple of things that were okay, but so much of it was just dreck is the word.
Do we want to drop it? Do we want to drop the answer?
Keep thinking. I mean, people could look this up.
Well, but we told them not to Google it. We told them not to Google it.
I wrote the songs. Who wrote it? Big, huge hit.
They're guessing.
This is
it was a big, huge hit for Barry Manilow, who did not write it.
Who didn't write it? I think this was his real gateway hit. Suddenly he became huge, and he was a songwriter. So suddenly he could actually start writing songs and he wrote a bunch of stuff with Ron Dante, who was his producer. Ron Dante, as the voice of every one of those studio groups in the 60s. The Archies, Ron. That's him. The Detergents, Ron. The Cufflinks, Ron.
The Cufflinks.
There you go.
The Detergents. I love the way band names were so basic back then.
They were all over the hell of the place.
Oh, the Detergents.
Good old Ronnie Dante.
The Cufflinks.
He was actually
that's basic.
He did a
that's basic.
ton of work. I think he's regularly featured on FMU, like on Telephonic Show, because man, he was all over the place.
I'm eagerly watching this.
Stories.
We ask people not to Google it, and they're not.
They're not.
I love it.
All right, go to wash up. I'll be right back. I gotta make something.
All right. I'm so eager to drop it. Drop the answer bit.
It's funny because when I was a kid, I would not have known this, and I would not have. And if you told me the answer, I said who, and it didn't. It wouldn't.
I didn't know
any
until
difference.
recently.
And the simple fact is, by now,
I never thought about it. I would have said Barry Manilow, but
you would think he was a songwriter. He wrote a ton of jingles back in this day, and that's how he was supporting himself. He also worked for a record company and the record library, and then he managed to run into a performer who was performing a lot in bathhouses. And she made a really big hit, and he was the pianist. I'll just drop this one on you. He was a pianist for Bette Midler for a while, and that's a great connection. I mean, she has a sensibility, and he was able to deliver.
All right, I think it's time.
All right, anybody? Nobody wants to actually like whip this one on us and tell us who was actually the songwriter on this song? I guess not. All right, so the actual songwriter is?
Bruce Johnston.
Bruce Johnston is the replacement Beach Boy. When Brian Wilson couldn't tour anymore, then you actually had a couple of replacement Beach Boys. He was the second replacement bass player. He, of course, had his own surf credentials. And he is the guy who was touring with them for years and years.
And who did he write the song about?
Who else but Brian Wilson?
Brian Wilson.
So there we go.
I Write the Songs is about Brian Wilson.
To make the whole world sing. So not only do we have that by, I'm sure we have it by Barry somewhere, but we also have it.
Carol says the Detergents. I should have started a band called the Calcium Hydrochlorides.
Now you're talking.
The dryer sheets.
Hydrochlorides. It's a song. It's a band called Bleach.
The Tide Pods. Oh, I'm sure by now there's a band called the Tide Pods.
You mentioned it, and so therefore it is.
The Tide Pods.
But not only do we have that, we actually do have an album with the composer singing his song.
Oh.
From Bruce's first solo record. So there we go.
Yeah.
That's the fun stuff. There's a whole lot of history there. And what is the Captain and Tennille connection? Circa 1973, they were actually backup singer and keyboard for the Beach Boys. So they learned a hell of a lot with that stuff. I think they're in a lot of studio practice, and then eventually they decided to start going on their own and recording their songs. And you look at their first album, and it's like they're playing all this stuff. They're singing all this stuff. It's this big self-produced effort. It's pretty amazing. It's kind of a big DIY project. Well, they got a huge hit out of it. So, hey, good for them.
Got to add the Tide Pods to the band
The Tide Pods!
list.
I think we should.
We keep a running band name list.
You got a running band name list. That's just... So does Derek Gurr.
There's a band called the Tide... Oh, but okay.
There's a band called
I'm sure there are many.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get a good band name...
You know?
What was the one we were talking about the other day? And I was saying the Pink Slip Daddies would be a good name for a band.
I've thought of that for years.
And then he was saying that there's one called Pink Slip Daddy. But
yeah.
I thought Pink Slip Daddies.
Pink Slip Daddies is not taken. Yeah. I think that's an awesome sort of a...
I love Captain and Tennille too, Lisa.
You know, listen to the album cuts. They do a lot of fun stuff. There is not an anthemic song out there that Toni Tennille has not wanted to sing. And she's sung most of them by now. So, that's the thing. True. She has anthem quality.
Anthem quality.
It had anthem quality.
What was that from? We got to tell them to go look for it.
The anthem quality was...
Yes.
Oh, good.
Hi, Aaron. Good to see you.
Hey, speaking of which... You know, I was actually just recently using, I believe you were the one who made the pimento liqueur. Am I right? Hey.
We try on the history.
Oh, please. Take your time.
So,
It's all archived, folks.
So
what?
What were we just talking about?
We were talking about music. We were talking about
Captain
bands. We were talking about Captain Tennille. I was mentioning, check out their album cuts because they do interesting things there. Big hits is one thing. Some of them are things you may not want to listen to. And some of them are just perfectly fine.
It was pertinent. What was I going to say about Captain Tennille?
Oh, wait. The name of the band is ! Exclamation point.
Oh, okay.
That's awesome. That's like the. You know, there's a classic kind of a thing right there.
I can't remember. It was good, too.
Yep.
Oh, well. Lost now.
Okay, so here's a name check for Remote Hydraulics as a band name, and that's coming from a farmer. You know, back in the 20s, a lot of farmers used to use a tractor called...
You pronounce it or any three noises you think are appropriate.
Funny. Back in the 20s, a lot of farmers used a tractor named Buffalo Springfield. There you go.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Big fun.
Say?
Well, think about it. It'll come. It'll come.
Captain and Tennille related?
What's in my hand?
Nothing.
Oh.
An imaginary drink?
Must remedy. What in the world should I have? Maybe I'll take suggestions. What should I have?
An imaginary drink?
An imaginary drink? Probably not. I can take an actual drink of water. That's a wise idea.
Oh, it's pronounced click, click, click. Amy says, okay. All right. All right.
There
That's really funny.
There are a lot of fun bands out there that do a lot of fun things with their band names. Some of them are pretty short-lived, but if it's a good gag, it's a good gag, folks. I like that kind of thing.
It was about Captain and Tennille. Now I'm bothered.
And what about them? Well, they had a whole show, of course, which ran for about a year.
I believe I own the entire series.
Yeah, I believe it's out there.
Yeah.
It started out with a lot of hokey, what am I thinking of? Sid Marty Krofft kind of stuff. And then they got sick of it, and they just said, it's just a music show. And then they're featuring contemporary bands. And it's like, oh, your friends are playing here. So it turned into a pretty good music show.
It really did.
And it probably could have been a great music show, but they decided that we're sick of doing this TV thing. So that's the thing. Oh, big thumbs for Buffalo Springfield. Hello. Oh, Maya. Yeah, I happen to like the Buffalo Springfield. They were a little ill-fated and extremely short-lived. But in their day, they produced a lot of great material. Check out their second album in particular. A little schizophrenic, but there's some good songs there.
Wait, hold
Definitely
on.
appreciate that.
I gotta back up on these comments.
Even their last album, which is like, okay, we're already gone out the door, it has some really great material on it. So,
Speaking of 70s TV, I'm going to change the subject here for a second. Speaking of 70s TV, if you are at all a fan of the Jeffersons, or I realize this is 80s now, but 227, Hollywood Reporter in the current issue has an interview with Marla Gibbs, who's 90 years old and still alive.
She's kicking it.
So recommend it. So yeah, if you're into that, go to Hollywood Reporter because it's great. Hi, Aaron.
Hello. Yes.
Captain Tennille's younger brother did production work for the Surf Punks. Oh, whoa. I believe that.
Whoa. Okay. Name checking.
Moving on up. Yes.
Name checking the Surf Punks.
Marla Gibbs. So
that's fun.
It's a really, really interesting interview. But the thing that was really so interesting to me is like after she got cast on the Jeffersons, she continued to work at her day job at United Airlines for 3 years. So she would go shoot the Jeffersons and then she would go to her job and everyone at her job was like, why don't you quit? So I just thought that was really interesting.
Perhaps a little job insecurity there.
Well, yeah.
Just saying. I know some people do that. Like, why should I quit? I've got this thing going on. I got that thing going on.
Oh, Lisa says they're like a one-hit wonder. Buffalo Springfield.
Yeah, they kind of are.
Yeah.
I think they're essentially a 1.5 hit wonder because the first single did hit the charts kind of low.
Oh, let's watch 227.
And then they got a lot of action out of the single for Bluebird, which frankly should have been extended because the extended version of that is very cool. And that was something they always did live.
So what are you making?
I heard a great description of them from somebody who saw them around 1967 saying, I went there expecting to see this soft rock band, and they were just like much harder rock than he could have imagined. So
who was that?
Buffalo Springfield. And it was just like the Observer.
Who went to see them?
Just some kid who saw them when he was like 17. He was like, oh well, they're just going to be kind of light. You know? No, I don't know. I don't remember who it was.
Oh, I thought it was someone you knew.
No, I don't remember
okay.
who it was. Seriously. No, not a clue. Going with history. Going with the wind.
All right. So what are you making? I gotta document it for posterity.
I don't know. Must be Drinky 5. And
Drinky 5.
Drinky 5.
I'm calling it Drinky 5 too.
Flaky Puff.
Don't think I won't. All right.
I do think you will. So I started with.
You have anything in mind
about
Drinky 5?
Half an ounce of lemon juice there.
Okay.
And I'm working with what we got hanging around here, and maybe I can find something kind of fun and make that work.
We do have other things too. If you're not interested in any of these items,
we do in fact. If I get inspired to do something completely different, I will, and I might. So let's see. Let's go with. I'm working with another one of these building glass things in a single-sized old-fashioned.
You're all about building in the glass tonight.
You know, it's simple. It's good. I actually shook the one that I could have built in glass, so there we go. Give me about an ounce worth of the tequila.
Okay.
Comma, reposado. Good idea. Hey, and let's go.
We saw a really great presentation at Inuhele by Tim Harnett of Tiki Underground. And his new book. He has a book out about tequila and mezcal.
Yeah, he did.
I think Peter
great
turned
little
in
bit.
for the evening, but Peter would have been into that. Peter likes mezcal.
Yeah. So we need an ounce of Pussers.
Oh, boy.
Oh, why don't I measure with the measurer? That's a good idea.
I wasn't going to say anything.
Ah, yes. I'm just going to pour and pour and pour.
Just going to let you do that.
A tequila and rum kind of thing with a little bit of sour. So far, we're on a good track. Let's... You know what? I like that rhubarb. There we go. Giffard rhubarb. We just got... It's interesting. So far, this is going to be pretty sour.
All right. Yeah, I think the rhubarb's going to...
I'm going to give
Pull
this...
it right out.
Yeah, the rhubarb will give it plenty of sweet and some bitter because the rhubarb's a little bitter. And that's a good place to be.
Right. Yes, Marla Gibbs is 90 and she's still with us. I didn't even know.
She's kicking.
But yeah.
She's kicking, man. Make it
Oh,
happen.
Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, wait. Andy Kaufman. I love that you guys are bringing all this up. Oh, Maria on Sesame Street. Oh. How much did you use?
That is pretty good so far. Half ounce of the rhubarb. And that is calling itself Giffard rhubarb. Well, that's
I
it.
believe that's rhubarb with an E at the
Yes,
end.
rhubarb. So, and I'm going to throw some orange bitters in there just
Okay.
for
How
giggles. Give me 3 dash. 1 to 3.
All right.
Boom. There we go.
Combine
Give that a
in
swirl.
an old
Give that a swirl
fashioned glass.
with ice. Full ice.
Oh yeah, with ice.
If you're doing a glass like this, a building glass, I recommend just fill it up. Just put a ton of ice in there. This is going to get it cooled fast and also start a little dilution. If all you have otherwise is a couple of shots of your base liquor, or even a couple ounces is what I used, and then liqueurs or whatnot, you want to start diluting that a little. You have to mellow it out a bit, and then your flavors will blend nicely, and it won't just be like, oh, booze, I know that...
Like you ever said that, ooh, poos.
Well, I suppose the classic shot is about 100 proof shot inside a dirty glass. Yeah.
Poos. Oh no, not poos.
For all you tough guys, quote unquote, out there. But mellow it out a bit. It's a nice drink. You can take that for a while.
Measure it the Julia Child's way, then take a swig. Oh my gosh. Did anyone else read that biography about Julia Childs that came out a few years ago? I was probably 5 years ago now, but it was so good. So good.
No, Julia Child.
Oh, the blue cheese martini. That sounds amazing.
Oh, we got it. Woohoo. Excellent, excellent. So, Julia Child actually was, among other things, an agent for the OSS during the big one.
Spy.
I'm going to borrow your peel because I think that's a fun idea.
You know what I'm going to do?
And
I'm gonna lay off of the hooch and get me some wine. I'll be right back.
Sure. There we go. Give it a stir. I probably didn't get too much lemon essence out of this because that was slightly spent. I would definitely have actually given that a spritz of the lemon oil from the peel. That's a great way to go. If you want to do that with a little sort of quarter-sized piece with a little flame and flame it, that's a common cocktail stunt too. Kind of fun. Oh, that's very civilized. A simple sort of thing. Hello. A little wine. Well, that's simple too. And the great thing is, if I feel a little nibbly, which I do, I can just reach back here and grab some snacks. Because we got the snacks dispenser. Big fun. That's a good thing too. Oh.
When you said a little wine, maybe think of a little dance.
A little song.
A little seltzer down your pants.
A little song. A little dance.
A little song, a little dance. A little seltzer down your pants. And if you get that reference,
you're definitely
you're
talking.
A geek like we are.
You're definitely talking there of Julia Child. Used to watch her on television, and she had a very specific tone to her voice and a delivery that was just like, do this and do this. And it's like she had studied. She had studied fine preparation. I think she studied at the salon, whatever. She knew what she was talking about.
She moved to Paris, and yeah.
She was certainly fluent. She knew how to do these things
But she
properly.
didn't move to Paris to do, it wasn't Sorbonne, it was the Cordon Bleu.
The Cordon Bleu, sorry.
And she didn't move there for that.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
She moved there for, her husband,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
But she also like managed to fall into early 60s. She falls into this like vein of doing a local show where she's explaining it all to you as to like, here's how to do it. And it's not crazy, you know? A lot of these sort of classic French formulas are, well, let's just make a big stew. Well, anybody can do that if you just have enough time and enough water and you just want to like take a really tough cut of meat and cook it for a long time. Make a ragu.
Oh my gosh. Amy says, a friend of mine used to run into Julia Child grocery shopping at Whole Foods in
Cambridge.
Oh my God. I would be so starstruck.
Oh, yeah. You'd be like,
oh my God.
Hello. Yeah.
We saw her kitchen at the Smithsonian.
The American History Museum had reconstructed her kitchen from the set, and there it was. And it was astonishing how just like sort of homey and a little ruffian.
It was small. It was really small.
Yeah. It just looked like and a lot of very common parts there being used because apparently she didn't believe in all this fancy stuff. She just wanted very functional appliances and devices. And what was she doing? She was doing a lot of these classic formulas where you just put it in a Dutch oven and just let it cook. Cook the hell out of it. You know, make a big stew, make a ragu.
That was such a good day.
You know?
That was such a great day because there was a presentation that day by Jane and Michael Stern, the road food people. And they're so funny.
They're highly entertaining in person. Oh my God.
So we went to that in the morning.
The books are hysterical, but they're highly entertaining in person. And that's to be borne in mind.
We went to that in the morning and then we saw Julia Child's kitchen and stuff. That was such a good day.
Is that Cass Elliot? I believe it is.
That is Cass Elliot.
Good grief, it's Cass Elliot.
We got Carol Burnett playing over on the TV. Don't look.
No. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No.
Getting distracted, but yeah. And then in the evening.
the Smithsonian. It was.
Yeah.
I think that was.
American history. And wasn't the evening the whole thing about beer making?
Oh, yeah. And then we did a scavenger hunt, which we won.
Yeah, we took that one down.
Yeah, we signed up for this whole thing at the Smithsonian. Like, it was a food and drink thing. So we did Jane and Michael Stern in the morning, which I gave him a card. Like, we bought a book and I had them sign it and then I shoved a Velveteen Lounge card in their hands. And they were so sweet. They're like, oh, well, check it out. Thanks. Anyway. Yeah. And then we did the museum and then they had all these breweries from the DC area set up little stations around the Smithsonian, and there was a scavenger hunt. And I was determined to win that scavenger hunt. So I was probably not pleasant to be with during the scavenger hunt because we were going to win, and we did.
No, you were fine. No, I was interested to get some points on that too, and we managed to get that stuff going on.
Yeah,
that was good because that was a whole exhibit that was about concerning prohibition.
Yes,
and concerning brewing. So we had some very historical brews, like some colonial era brews going on from some local breweries, right? And then we had the DC area, and then some contemporary sort of things. And they also had the staff of American history had made beer.
Yes.
They had actually made home brew, and they had a little formula for a home brew that would have been passed around during Prohibition when you couldn't get it. It's like bread yeast and like grain and
it wasn't bad.
Stuff. You know, it was really good.
It wasn't bad.
It's really good. Brewing is possible if you just let stuff sit around and let the natural yeast go to town. You just have to control it properly. So, you can make a fairly palatable thing without a lot of effort, and if you give it some effort, it will taste very good. We have made beer around these parts using one of the commercial beer kits. It's pretty simple, and it is actually very hard to make a terrible batch of beer. I can say that. You will probably make a very acceptable batch of beer, and then you'll be like, well, how can I improve that? And then you go to town. And then we start talking about people like our friend John in Rhode Island, aforementioned, who makes really excellent beer.
Yes. Yeah. I find that when you made beer, when you first tried it, it was not great. But the longer you let it sit, it actually was quite pleasant.
In my experience,
you let it sit
takes
for a while.
3 weeks to make something that resembles beer, but the taste is no good. Mm-hmm. And after about 2 more weeks, it suddenly gets really good.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a lot better after it sat for a while.
If you don't pasteurize it, it will improve in flavor for about 5 months and then go bad. So make sure you drink your beer young.
That sounds wrong, but
because it will not improve forever. It will go bad.
Oh, blackberries. Okay, you're all saying we love brewing. Blackberries have natural yeast. That makes
Fruit
a great
wine.
fruit wine. Ooh.
Blackberry wine, blackberry liqueur.
I love
Those are
it.
classic flavors right there.
Doug says you need to malt the right enzymes.
Or the starches in the grain.
Yeah, okay, yep.
Yeah, you have to actually start sprouting the grain so it starts converting the starches into sugar, and then you have something to work with. You can't take starch and go from there. You have to actually make this turn into sugar.
Yeah.
True.
I remember we went to a brewing store one day. Oh, Lisa makes an outstanding dandelion wine.
Dandelion wine. Ooh,
I wanted to make
that's a classic.
dandelion wine one year, and I even bought dandelion seeds, and like, no dandelions grew. Oh no, they did. I planted them in a box, and I basically watched as some squirrel ate them all.
I think it was groundhogs, but yes.
Well, no, groundhogs couldn't jump that high.
They did. They chowed down on this stuff. Wow.
It was nuts. But then,
Tell ya.
every year after, I was like, oh, there's plenty of dandelions. So like the one time I wanted to make it, it wasn't going to happen.
You can usually find dandelions in surplus wherever you go.
Ooh. Your son-in-law makes mead. Okay, from local honey.
Now we're talking. Talk about your classic.
Yummy.
Talk about your Viking beverages. Hello. Now that's Old English.
Yeah.
And I don't mean Old English and malt liquor. I'm talking about like old English liquors. Yes.
Can you even buy that anymore?
Yes. Yes, you can.
That's terrifying.
Interesting but true. Also interesting that most malt liquors have a lower gravity than most IPAs these days. So if anybody's talking about, this stuff will get you screwed up quickly, no.
Oh, there's something called Old English sharp cheese spread.
From Kraft. Old English scratch cover for dark woods. So we got furniture polish and we have cheese. But where is the Old English malt liquor?
Here we go. I think I just found it. Old English 800.
800
It's a brand of American malt liquor produced by the Miller Brewing Company. Interesting.
Okay, so Miller produces the Old English.
It was introduced in 1964.
Good grief.
And owned by Miller Brewing Company since 1999.
Wow. It's got a whole history here. Good grief.
It is available in a variety of, it sounds so fancy. It is available in a variety of serving sizes, including, since the late 1980s, a 40 ounce, because that's so fancy, U.S. fluid ounce bottle. It is available in a variety of sizes, including the 40 ounce.
I got the giggles there because I'm thinking, can you possibly serve Old English in anything but a 40? I'm just saying. And you got to drink it from the bottle because that's the whole concept right there. Right next to your St. Ides. Oh, boy.
Hi, Disney, for the win. I'm glad to see you. Yay, I'm glad you popped in.
Very happy
glad you popped in.
On this old broadcast here. Hello.
This is turning into a very goofy brewing
As always,
conversation.
We had a long discourse on music, and we had a long discourse on television and motion picture sort of things. And then we're down to the cheap beer. So here we go.
And malt liquor.
Malt liquor.
It's worse than the cheap
malt
beer.
liquor itself should not be a terrible category because at the end of the day, you're really talking a classic product. High gravity beer is just barley wine.
I don't know.
And
I feel like all the malt liquor I've had has always been awful.
So bad because I think it's produced pretty cheaply. But you have some other producers out there who are making some pretty high gravity stuff, and it's designed to be just party.
Amy says, "I think you have to drink it from the bag."
Well, if you don't want the police to be coming after you anyway.
Oh wait, Doug threw down. Doug says, maybe 40 is for the OMB. Shoot. Oh, maybe the Old Man Beer Challenge will become the Old Man Malt Liquor. Oh.
All I can think of.
Good night, Gettysburg, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All I can think of is the hip hop classic Sawed Off Shotgun.
Oh, jeez.
Talking about 40s. And I'm trying to remember who that was. It's completely escaping my mind.
Oh yes, Ryan.
That
Mead
sample
is
sticks in my mind.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Mead is fantastic. Malt liquor. Not fantastic.
From time to time, I have sampled such things, and they just taste like, they taste like, but they are cheap lager with a little bit of octane to them. They've just been brewed to there's something at like 5.2%, and I think you pick up an IPA these days that says 7.5. I'm like, well, this is smoking the St. Ides. That's supposed to be heavy stuff. Get out of here! Come on.
All right, I've had a couple of drinks, but
Let's
I'm thinking the Old Man Malt Liquor Challenge is hilarious.
We may have found a winner because I need ideas, and that's a hilarious idea. And of course, the contestants in Old Man Beer will throw down for the worst of the worst, the bottom of the barrel, any day of the week. So we like to deliver such things so that they've got something to go on. Last year was kind of classy, though. It was the Old Man Ale Challenge. We had 4 ales.
That
4
was
American
way too
ales.
classy. I think we need to...
They were good,
We need to strip it back to its origins.
I wanted to be able to feature Ballantine. That's an American ale, you know. So I did. It worked.
We have to
It worked
pull it
very
back
well.
to its origins.
Yep.
The Old Man Beer Challenge. The Old Man Malt Liquor Challenge.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm thinking the Old Man Malt Liquor Challenge.
Cypress Hill, thank you, Eric.
And cheap.
Thank you with Cypress Hill. I totally forgot about them. Sorry. My apologies to Cypress Hill. They produced so much entertainment for America. But I tell you, that song, talking about the 40, it just really sticks in the craw. It's that Duke of Earl sample. Damn. I tell you. That's the thing. I'm not going to tell you. That's not a terrible thing. That sticks in my craw. I'm like,
oh, Lisa,
over,
you guys have to come to Ohana some year because,
you really,
I think you would love it.
Really
I think you would love
need
it.
to experience these things because I think you would enjoy it so much.
Imperial IPA is a gentrified malt liquor.
Well, at the end of the day, you know, and we start talking about like, Imperial Stout made for the Russian Imperial Court. It's like, yeah, that's just high gravity stout.
That doesn't mean anything. Have you ever seen a movie about a royal? They were horrible people back in the day.
No, and then there was all these people who were faking the royals. We were just watching something about that. Yeah.
Oh, well, we're still watching it.
We're still watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, is it time?
It's perhaps
Seemed
time.
like you were signaling.
We're
right?
about at 2 hours or so. This is a pretty good time to
2 hours
sort of
and
kick
2
it.
minutes.
I know the conversation could go on for a long time,
Yeah.
but I may not be here, so we'd better actually.
You guys need to get to Ohana.
Yeah, and we got to keep this reasonable for things. We've actually kicked out with about 5 fun things for you. If you are a subscriber, you will find these tomorrow, or a patron. At the lower left of your screen, you'll see a couple of links there. We have our Patreon, we have our Amazon store. If you'd like to sponsor us, Patreon is the place to go. If you'd simply like to buy some product that manages to give us a little kick, then Amazon is the place. So you can find those. If you decide to buy something on Amazon, you do not have to be on our list. We do not have to be listing us for us to get a credit for it.
If you just enter Amazon through our store and don't buy anything from our store,
start there.
Start at our store,
go.
we still get a commission.
We'll get a credit. We'll get a credit.
So, yeah.
So if you need to buy something like a car, yeah, I'd appreciate it if you start through my store. Yeah.
I don't care what you buy.
I don't care.
But if you start in my store,
But
thank you very much.
We had one of our correspondents recently was buying a refrigerator and said,
Yeah.
"Can I start at your store?" And we're like,
Yes.
"Please, check that out."
Oh, thank you, everyone.
And it all happened.
We love
It all
seeing you.
happened.
And honestly, I was so stressed before this, just from work stuff.
Oh,
And you made me feel so much better. So thank you. I'm so glad you guys were here.
make things happen.
Anxiety, separation. Oh, separation anxiety. Lisa, I know. We love you guys. We love you.
Please. We do this because you show up. I could talk to a wall, and what would be the point,
Carol,
folks?
Lisa, yeah. Oh my gosh, Amy's still here. Doug, Julie, Daniel. Oh, we love you guys so much. Satellite. I'm so afraid I'm gonna miss someone. Oh,
please.
I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and be like, I didn't
say about.
Oh, Sherry, good night. Oh, I feel so much better already. Satellite, thank you.
It was a trying day. It's
Mom's
just
here.
a lot of information.
Yeah, so many people.
Just a lot of information. That's all.
Exactly.
We're not doing badly at all. We're really managing a lot.
I was just. It's just because I have to start an LLC and I don't know how to do that, so I gotta get legal advice.
You don't know how to do a lot of things that you're trying to do. It doesn't matter. You're going to start doing them anyway.
It's good, though. It's
good advice for anybody.
Good to start a company.
You don't have to know how to do it. You just have to start doing it.
It's good to start a company. And
like a lot of things, you don't have to want to do it. You just have to do it.
Oh, Eric, thank you. Yeah.
Please.
All right.
Absolutely.
Good night, everyone.
Folks, you know what the score is. I just told you what the links. Check them out. It would really help us if, check out that Amazon thing anyway. If you want to be a patron, hey, that's awesome. We appreciate that. If you'd like to support us otherwise, drop a line. We'll figure that part out. And as always, no matter where you go, and no matter what you do, we will see